It's not that much better. Oh, there you go. You just kind of see me. I know I'm dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? There's not a new camera angle.
Yeah.
I'm in my living room, but my living room's kind of like rearranged because my sister had a party.
No, hold on. You're not gonna talk fast after that comment. You know you're what?
What? What? Wait,
Don't pretend like you didn't just say what you just said.
what did I say?
You are a member of the light skin community, sir.
This is a filter. Why don't you guys believe me? This is an overlay. It is a filter and an overlay. Y'all gotta believe me, bro. I'm the blackest man alive. You know what I'm
If it
saying?
makes you feel better, you're one of the darker light skinned people I've seen.
I'll take it. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I hope y'all good. So today's video, I wasn't gonna stream today. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I didn't have anything to do today. I was just gonna go sleep. I was gonna play video games, watch a GamesCon, and go to sleep. I haven't watched any of the new trailers, and I want to see it. But I saw something on Twitter which inspired me to do this video, I suppose, because like I don't know about you. Did you ever think like big three discussions would like permeate till now, but like this intensely to this day? I don't know if I saw that coming. I don't know how I thought the world was gonna
I,
change or technology, but did you?
I didn't think the fire would burn as bright, but I definitely thought we were going to be talking about it. But like nowadays, it's overtaking the new shit
Yeah,
from what I'm seeing.
like you
I'm
get you
like,
get your,
damn, we got some good stuff now, and they got still like hooked on this like intently.
yeah. Like I know One Piece isn't done, so it's kind of like weird to say that, but I get it. But like, when did Bleach and Naruto end? Like 2014 to 2016, like that kind of
Yep,
time frame. Like,
respective years. Yep.
yeah, it's almost been like a decade for some of these, and I'm just like, with the amount of fervor and fire and passion that I see the debate still going, I'm like, I don't know if I expected this. So,
I could I could
yeah,
understand Bleach because it came back,
yeah,
but Naruto fans should be dead. Go away.
yeah,
Go away. Enough out of you. They're
yeah.
not giving you new shit. Boruto is garbage. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all anymore. Please leave me alone.
Yeah, like power scaling is power scaling. I think that's timeless. You know, Superman versus whoever, whatever, whatever. So I guess that makes sense because remember that one guy who ever kind of Curtis kept bringing is Naruto beating Ichigo. And we're like, we don't care. We're not here to talk about that. But yeah, he's like, he said, it's not spitting. I muted Boruto from my TL. I thought it would die down after the two of them ends. Stinkier, it's a stink that never goes away. Hope everyone's doing good in the chat, by the way. You say Bleach Run Back Part 3? No. What kind of? The joke is that we did like 5 Reborn streams after the revisionist history. So like they keep calling it the runbacks. So yeah, but what I was gonna say is like with Bleach, yeah, there was like the comeback of the anime and always people wanting the new anime, the Thousand Year Blood War to be animated. So there was always that camp of people. What's the guy who was known for always like wanting? There's a popular Bleach YouTuber who like I don't remember his
James
name.
Hansen.
Yes, like yeah, that bozo. But but and then with Naruto, part of me wants to say is because I guess Boruto happened, but you know, I
But
don't.
Kishimoto's not doing it.
No, I thought he wrote it.
No.
Does
He
he even do what
doesn't write
Toriyama
that
does?
shit.
Like, oh, here's like the main points, how you get there is up to you, and he just gives it like with Toritaro or.
No, that's why I refuse to even like give it a chance because like Kishimoto can do some good things.
Mhm.
Like he's really good at making fights, and his art is nice, but he not drawing it, he not writing it. So why are you guys still on this?
They said he is doing it now and it's still not good. He's the reason Kurama died instead of both, so he's just misinformed. Thoughts on Kishimoto writing Boruto? I didn't know he was writing it. I thought he wasn't. So, well, I thought he was. I actually thought he was writing it the whole time. I don't. I know he wasn't drawing it. The artwork was different. Um,
Oh,
based on
they say he's doing it now.
yeah, apparently.
It'll
So maybe
probably be a little bit better now, but the
so.
damage has been done.
Mhm. So I was wondering if like these kind of spin-offs in some way. I guess Bleach had his 20th anniversary, though that was, I think, a little different. But I do want the Hellverse arc or Hell arc. I want it. I want to see
I
that
want
little.
it. I need it.
I want to see Ichigo and Orihime mini. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Mini.
And Rukia and Renji's kid. I want to see them in action. I do. But Kishimoto art it hits not his story. He can't write to save his life. Kodachi was writing. I don't even know what that is. Kishimoto started writing Boruto from chapter 52 onward. What chapter is it on? Manager's biased and not reading and understand. No one's biased here. We don't care.
It's not
Well,
good.
no. Well, actually, it's a bias for me. I don't fucking care. I don't want to. I'm not reading it. I'll
No,
say it. I'm not
I
interested.
know it's not good because the
I don't
timeline
believe anybody.
involuntarily tells me.
Yeah, honestly, the more excited the TL is about something, the less I trust it. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Black Clover! I'm like, that. I know that shit is mid. No, you got to give it a chance. Asta's the most unique character. You never seen a character with anti magic? Call me Joe Toma. I didn't have to hesitate. Frame one counter, and then go malfunction, short circuit. I don't fucking know what to say after that. I'm like, bro, I'm not the one. I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar years. I've been around. I've been here. I've been around, bro. I'm a veteran. It's not even. It's not even
I
like
mean,
I'm the goal or whatever. It's like I just been here for so long. Like I tell people, since I could literally read words and understand them, I've been reading comics and manga. It's like 4. It's been a long time. I'm not new to this. Go ahead.
me personally, I'm not as harsh as a judge as Naya, so I don't think Black Clover sucks or anything. I like the characters a lot. The fights are cool, but like the story just is very, very lackluster. And like after a while, it's just like I can't do this. Like almost every plot point they use, I've seen done better before in some other form. I was like, I like you guys, but like I can't sit around and read this every week. So I'm gonna just check out here while I'm on a good note.
Mm, I feel it. Send me if you're not busy for a time being, hop in if you want. Black Clover is alright, just a popcorn read. That's fine. Naruto clone, Black Clover, a fun time. Oh yeah. I actually don't have any smoke with Black Clover, like the series itself. I just want to know why everyone lied to me when they wanted me to read it. That's all. Unique. It's this.
But
It's so
you,
different. No, it's not.
you like Valkyrie dress, bro?
Yeah, that shit's fire. Noel's form. That shit is fire.
Yeah.
And I did say it actually moves at a really fast pace, all things considered. Like I think
It's
it
fast. It's
wastes no
fast as fuck.
time. It's just
It's
next story
fast
beat,
as
next story
fuck.
beat, next story beat, next story beat, next story beat. I'm like, that's pretty refreshing, all things considered. Like I don't think any story in a recent time has moved that quickly, but yeah, that
Now,
story.
I won't lie to you.
Mhm.
Black Clover was the first series I read where I was like, I think you guys are fighting a little too much. I was like, you guys are fighting a lot.
He said, "Can y'all just have some dinner and talk about your feelings?"
They're fighting a lot. I was like, all right, I need a
Ah,
break.
I'm crying. I'm crying. Oh man, people lied to me, JJK. I hate everyone. They lied to me about JJK, but all this considered, I really wish people understood my take here. Cause I don't think it's hard to understand. I do not think it's a bad series. I am not personally emotionally invested. I just don't care as much as other people do. I don't. And after Shibuya, I definitely lost a lot of my reason to read. I always tell people this. The thing that I care about in storytelling the most are characters. If give
Yeah.
me one character I like, and I will sit through mid to see them shine. Inuyasha is my best example. Listen, I love Rumiko Takahashi. Out of all the series that she's made, that to me is her worst series, and it's not close in my opinion. But I love Shishomaru. I love that nigga. I will sit through 200 chapters for the 10 chapters where he's going crazy. Okay, I'll sit through it. I'll sit through all the bullshit because Naraku's one of my least favorite antagonists of all time across time and space, all top to bottom, all across all mediums. I hate that burger. But Shishomaru is that cold. I'm like, I will suffer for him, for my lord, Shishomaru-sama. Not just me though. I can't think of anybody else. More people like some people like world building. They like lore, subplots, and central plots. I think central plot and subplots are second for me, but that's just how I am. Everybody that liked
I'm
JJK got sidelined or died or was sealed, so it was hard for me to keep carrying. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Characters are the most important thing to me. That's why I go so hard for One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho. You know, characters in those series are very vibrant, full of personality.
Mm.
That's how it was with Seven Deadly Sins. Like every single time that Diane lost her memory, I was suffering. I was like, "Oh my god, I cannot stand this giant woman."
Why can't she
And
keep
then
her memories?
Meliodas would be doing some shit. I was like, "All right, that's all right, I guess." But as soon as I show up, I'm like, "I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go."
It's true. It's true because I openly admit, there's an L for me. I admit it. It's an L. I was the biggest Nanatsu no Taizai defender. I tried my best. I had my shield, my barrier, my cape, but little by little, it just whittled away, whittled away. I said, I can't defend this anymore. I have to walk away. But one
The
thing I can say with
moment
him, a scanner pops up, he's up. He's
Yeah,
up.
yep. The moment he had a fight that wasn't fire, I was done. That fight was Zeldris. It was not it. I was like, all right, I'm done here. He's lost it. He can't give me
Oh,
any more hype basketball moments. I'm
Omnis
leaving.
Nebula didn't go crazy. You know, it was Ultrastad. That's my guy. So, what y'all
It
know about
wasn't fighting,
Omnis
man.
Nebula, bro? That shit was nice. He's just in the stands. He's going so fast. Can't even see. Yeah. Yeah. Best character in the anime ain't close. The Tale of Seven Deadly Sins, that downfall was unreal. The JJK weekly fraud allegations are hilarious. I've tried to get into One Piece so much that I've watched 240 episodes, hoping for it to grip me. It didn't though. Naruto and Bleach, greater than One Piece at this point. I get that it's continuous to some people. That's nothing wrong with that. I actually think by that point, if it's not moving you, I don't think it would. Would you agree with me? If we're 240 episodes in, probably I don't know. Envious lobbies could
That's
sway
top
a lot
tier,
of
ain't it?
people, but I think at that point you probably should just move on. It's fine.
I would say push through to Eni's lobby.
Mhm.
But I had a friend that was just like that. They were like watching, and they were like, I mean, it's okay. It's not moving me. Then they got to Eni's lobby, everything changed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love One Piece now.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard a lot of people say that about Kingdom. It's not that it wasn't bad, but they're like the coalition arc, and you know what I've always said. Like, don't tell me to read something because I'm gonna like it in chapter 100. If I don't like it in chapter 1, I could drop it. I don't. I tend to give something a chance based on like percentage. If you have 100 chapters, I'll read like 16. If I'm not moved by chapter 16, I'm going to do something else. You know what I'm saying? But I've always said people, if you read chapter 1 or watch episode 1 of something and not a single thing moved you or gripped you to want to keep going, not a character, not a possible plot thread, like, I wonder what happened with this character. This guy looks cool. I hope he's raw and important. And not one thing made you want to go to chapter 2, I feel like you're justified in not continuing. Now, if you want to comment on like, oh, it's not well written and this and that, and the other, shut up. You read one chapter. You don't have to say that. But 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 you could stop though. You could just stop. Like, the first chapter didn't grip me. It's fine. That's fair. Yeah, I think the Kingdom first arc is really good, but that's how I am. Like,
Yeah,
I don't disrespect the beginning of the series. I think a lot of Shonen fans do that, especially. Um, I never dropped Ordeal. I'm almost done actually. I got like
it's a running joke.
I got like 30, 20 something chapters left. I'm almost done. But yeah, if you like Ennie's lobbies and not respect arcs, I don't like you. Prior arcs, I kind of feel that. 'Cause I like IP a lot of stuff. But for what we're talking about, I'm talking about the big three, the never ending, kind of like the sort of never ending debate where I was saying earlier, I saw. Well, I'll say what like inspired the stream. What's up, Simi? Why?
Hello,
Why?
everybody. The
Why?
Emperor has arrived.
Why is that your name?
Oh, me?
Who did
Because that's
that?
what I am. That's exactly me. I did that.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I am.
I was gonna say, did Badger bully you? Because I think you have more powers
He
than him.
doesn't have the exactly. He doesn't have the power to bully me.
Badger be putting like butt for people's name or like like butthead and something like that. So I'm like, did he did he get him? So I was on
Nah, I've
Twitter.
been at this
Go
for
ahead.
a while now.
I was
I've
on
been at this
Twitter
for a while now.
and I think Mikey quote tweeted it, and I saw somebody comparing the first 100 episodes of One Piece to Bleach to Naruto. And you see me, you know the meme with like the Hydra, the dragon, like the three-headed dragon, where like one's like derpy, other one's looking to the
Mhm,
right, and the other one's looking to the left, like this fucking idiot. One Piece was the one in
mhm.
the middle, and then Naruto and Bleach were on the left and right sides. I can't remember what sides they were, and it kind of inspired this because I was saying is like back in the day, while I know One Piece is ongoing, I don't think that I ever thought the big three debate would have continued with so much like passion and fervor to this day. Maybe I didn't see how like technology would evolve and social media and stuff, but I'm so surprised people are still this passionate about this conversation. What do you think?
I thought that we would, or I should say, I thought that mangaka would be able to fucking keep up, but apparently not. So I thought that we would probably still have these arguments, but with 3 new series at
Okay.
least,
Yeah,
or at least
yeah.
one other,
Or a
not the
new big
same
three.
3 that. Yeah, there'll be a new big 3, a new upcoming or whatever the fuck that people would be hype about. Not the same shit that I was looking at since fucking elementary school. 2 of them which are now done, and we still here having these conversations. It's just like, damn. I think that's more of a testament to the mangakas nowadays. Just y'all not coming out with enough fire to fucking replace those memories. Cause these people still talking about this shit.
I think that's
Now,
fair.
Simi got a point because Yaiba finished like before 250, I
And
think,
that did
and then
numbers. That sold
JJK is
like
about to finish right now, and they're like 220 something, and then fucking what's the other one? My Hero. My Hero's the longest one.
Yep.
My Hero's like at like what 3 something.
But that's in its last arc too.
Yeah.
Did he say one of the 2
But-
parts, or did I make that up?
I mean, it's a theory. I have no idea because I don't keep up with like no type of community period. But I've heard that as well. There's going to be 2 parts. Now it's not. Now it is, or whatever the fuck. I don't know, and I don't care neither. But I think it's still just a headcanon.
Okay. Naruto was a very misunderstood series story-wise and characters and themes. I don't think so.
No, it's not.
Is
It's
it?
actually it's extremely
Did I
simple.
alert Twitter for the stream? I don't think I did. I don't think I did tweet it out, did I? Whoops. I should tweet that out. My bad. The big 3 weighs a lot of weight for many people. My brother Katakuri Naruto is truly misunderstood, but not the way you think. Testament to the storytelling abilities of these new age mangaka. Could have swore the next big 3 was going to be JJK, MHA, and Black Clover. Some people like say that, but beyond those, like it's artificial. It's not real.
That's artificial as all hell, man.
Mhm. Yeah. Naruto has 3 characters that develop. It's the story of Kakashi, but called Naruto. Is it?
It might.
But-
Hey, Wolf might be spitting. It might be spitting. It might be.
Yeah, man. That's what I mean. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So explain. Use your words, brother. You can make the case. You're a grown man. Make the case. All right. So yeah.
Cases. Y'all like court trials? Y'all like looking at legal battles? Well, then I got a thing for you. You can at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time check out The Empire. That's me. That's my home as I play Ace Attorney Justice for All. That's just a game day. Ace Attorney series tonight at 8 p.m. That is at twitch.tv/. I had to get my plug in.
Hey, fair enough.
Objection!
Yes, sir. You think it's honestly more likely that JJK gets 2 parts than My Hero? Okay, interesting. So we kind of looked up where just so we'll just start the case. We'll start with what inspired the video. He's on the last case of Justice for All. He just finished the Big Berry Circus case with Maximilian Galactic. I'm gonna call him Billy Bob Johns.
Billy Bob Johns. That's
I'm calling him Max. I'm calling him Max Galactica.
Don't call him by his work name. Call him by his shoot name, Billy Bob Johns.
We seen Miles. He on the plane. He coming. It's my boy, Young Edgewood.
That pop was insane. First off, I said,
I know. I missed him. But okay. Damn it. We'll have our Ace Attorney stream. It'll come. It'll happen. 100% it'll happen. But okay.
yeah.
So, Simi, we looked up where each episode like ended at 100. I think for Naruto, it was what was the filler again? I know the filler after it was the one where they tried to unmask Kakashi. So that's where episode 100
I already
is.
know this is cap because Alabasta ends at like 120 something. We said 100. So we already saw a lot of gas in OP. And they saying that freaking OP the brain dead dragon. But now continue. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
listening.
you're right. It's when Ace is around, and it goes to the Alabasta flashback of Koha and like Vivi when they're younger and talking about the situation in Alabasta, and shit. What was Bleach again? Bleach was Bond. You said the Bound arc. Is that what you said?
About arc. The only arc that was canon. Well, you had the
Some.
daily life and then the Soul Society, and then they went into a long ass filler arc.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah. So that's where they all end. So I believe in Naruto. Did you say this is the little mini filler before the Sasuke retrieval, or did that happen already?
yes, it's the mini filler before Sasuke retrieval.
So what's like the latest thing that happened? Is that the Chunin exam? I don't even remember the fucking order of that shit.
Tsunade retrieval.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So he has to learn how to
Yes, they
do
went to go get Nare for a new fucking
swirling
Hokage
ball
or something.
attack.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He
Okay.
went to get the cat M to make you rest. I can't believe I remember that. Oh.
Mhm.
The power of
With
nostalgia.
Bleach, this is post Soul Society.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oof. See, that's a hard one to beat. Soul Society is a great. I love that arc. I actually kind of reread
So,
it. Go ahead.
like, all three of them, you saw a lot of good gas. Like, all three,
Yeah.
if like, let's say hypothetically, in a perfect world, there was a block that showed each of these back to back to back for fucking hour and 30 minutes, and you watch it every week. I think the average viewer would be thoroughly happy. I know I would. As someone
Yeah.
who's had a phase with each one of these three, I know for a fact if I got to watch these three or their first 100 episodes simultaneously, I would be very fucking happy. I would think that anime was like the greatest medium on the face of the planet.
Yeah,
We got good arcs out of all of them.
I agree.
Like no debate. So I wouldn't even be thinking about one is worse than the other because we got some serious gas.
That's kind of where I'm at. Generally
Yeah.
speaking, like obviously I have my preference because I'm gonna tell some of the stories of how I kind of got into each one. But I was just like, at that point, I probably wasn't thinking about all those things. Like that's something I'll think about when everything's all said and done. Yeah, I'll tell you which one I think is the best. But like for me, right? Let's say like objectively speaking, somehow you can measure this, which you can't. One Piece was the worst one. What do I care necessarily? And it's still important to some degree. I'm not saying it's not, but why would I care if let's say each series was 1,000 chapters and they all had the best 100 chapters to then in the end not be the best series? Why do I care that your first 100 chapters or episodes were the best? You didn't win the race. To me, that's like running 400 meters. Like I was winning for 100 meters and everyone else passed you. Okay, great, good for you. You lost. Like that's not a profound statement to me like that. Obviously, you want to capture a reader's or watcher's or player's attention as best as you can, as early as you can, so you want that hook. I would say every series has like a seatbelt moment where you strap in for the rest of the ride. You know, for me, for One Piece,
Yeah.
secretly it's Baratie, but I'll say it's a Nami scene with Arlong stabbing her arm. Like that tremendously moved me. I'm like, nah, I'm here, bro. This is it. I was so emotional. I was so man. Like, I'm fighting fishermen too, bro. Fuck these niggas, right? I was like, I was on that gimmick. I think I told this story once, but I'm gonna tell it again here. So like the very first thing I saw in Bleach was Ichigo versus Kenpachi. So I had not originally seen like the first whatever episodes up until that point. I'm in New York. I'm at my cousin's house. Right?
Let's go.
he put this on, and I'm like, wait a goddamn second. This is the anime that my swimming instructor for Bronze Star was talking about when we was swimming and doing our exams. He kept talking about this bleach and purify the soul by cutting the hollows and blah blah. I'm like, oh, I'm like, yo, episode 1, because he had like this is kind of like when we started getting satellite stuff, and he can like save episodes. So we actually had like the first 10 saved. So we ended up watching it, and that's how I got into Bleach, and I thought it was cool. I didn't love the beginning as much as I did like the first time around because obviously I already saw like fighting, so I was like, damn, I gotta like warm up to it, but it was good. It was good. And for a long time in my life, you couldn't tell me anything was better than Naruto. I always admit that. I'm not gonna act like I wasn't a Naruto tard once in my life. I was. I had weighted ankles. I had weighted weights on my ankles. and I'd take them off in basketball, playing ball or football or whatever. Like I'd had to rock Lee like ankle weights, like and for a long time I probably would have ordered it Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. One Piece was the last one that I tried out, but that's the one that emotionally gripped me the most. And by the time I caught up to its latest chapter, it was over. I was in there. I'm like, yeah, this is the one for me. And I have a natural, and I really do like pirates and whatnot, so I liked it. So yeah, I just thought that this would be a good launching point to just talk about like the never-ending debate of the big three and all the debates that I see. Like, and it's not like another one that I've seen a lot recently relates to power scaling because Luffy just achieved a new form. And anytime this tends to happen anytime a major character in a battle shonen that's well known gets a new form. This happened with Ultra Instinct. The first thing they're like, now can he beat Superman? Like they always do this shit, right? So with Luffy getting Gear 5th, I've seen a lot of now can he beat Ichigo? Now can he beat Naruto? Blah blah whatever. So I thought this would be a good launching point. But Pat, did you want to chime in on the first 100 episode stuff?
All right. So I started. Well, let me rephrase this. One Piece was what I was exposed to first, but it was that bastardized version that 4Kids was putting out. So that doesn't even really count to me. That wasn't One Piece. That was fucking 2 Piece or whatever the fuck. But I would say
that was just peace. That's it.
That was just peace.
PEACE.
But I'll say that in the first 100, Naruto was the most consistent. Like it wasn't. I was not too high or too low on any arc. Like everybody loves tuning exams and they think it's one of the best, but I was never in that camp. I always thought tuning exams was all right. My fervor for Naruto didn't like burn super hot until Itachi was introduced, and then we had the Tsunade retrieval. That was okay, but then Sasuke retrieval, which is after the first 100, was when I was like, "Yo, this is the greatest shit ever." I was like, "This is one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life." I would say Bleach had the quickest start because I told y'all the story a long time ago, but it was fucking late in the year. It was about to be New Year's. I'm warming up food downstairs. Bleach was on the television on Adult Swim because I always left the television on Cartoon Network. I seen Ichigo and Renji fighting in a fucking street. I was like, all right, well, he got like a lot of markings over his head, so that he must be a bad guy. And then his sword is big as shit. It's typical main character vibes. Then it was like, what's your Zanpakuto's name? I was like, what's he talking about, Willis? He said, how, Zombie Baku? That shit changed? He cut Ichigo on his shoulder, pulled that shit back. It was a lot of blood. I sprinted over to the living room, picked up the remote, TV guide, Bleach, bet. Took my food and went right back upstairs. I think I watched like 15 episodes that night. I was like, this is gas.
Were you watching it on YouTube with the 3 parts?
Yeah.
Remember when YouTube always had every episode in 3 parts?
Yup.
Parte 1, Parte 2. 9 minutes.
If you found an account with like the whole episode, you had to fucking subscribe and then watch everything as fast as you can because you knew that account was going down.
Yep. You had to get early. Back with the good subs too.
I would say if the first 100 episodes, One Piece is the best one because it doesn't have the quickest start, of course, but like once I got to Baratie, I was locked in. Like the fire was burning, and that's like 20 episodes in. Then we got to Arlong Park. I'm just like, oh my god, this series is so beautiful. Like you have fucking Gintoki main where he's staring at the light. That was me watching one. This did all my life,
man.
But yeah, they all had like I'll throw each fandom a bone. The MAME, there is no derpy MAME here, man. They're all the fucking stud looking dragon, all 3 of them for the first 100 at least.
You might think one got a harder scales or something or better fire breathing, but I don't think the first 100 episodes of each are bad. Like, I enjoy all of it.
I probably
I skip fillers by the way, so That's not gonna do me.
Absolutely. I probably agree with Pat that One Piece, I think, arguably as objective as we can get, has the best 100 episodes because we got a lot out of those 100. Not only in the amount of arcs, but building the cast and fights.
Yeah.
Naruto and Bleach took the time to warm up into that, and then we started getting them back to back. But One Piece is pretty much right off the bat, because even I would say even the way fucking Luffy beat fucking Buggy ass was raw. And so it's like, cause like I felt like that was an actual fight versus Naruto's first episode with fucking what's his name, fucking who even remember this nigga, man?
Mizuki.
Fucking and
The
on the
secret
Cartoon Network
scroll.
version, in the Cartoon Network version, this shit was censored. We didn't even see it. That wasn't a fight. That wasn't a fight. They censored that shit. And then Bleach, I would say, have the second best, but Hollow not no real fight. I mean, like, they were scary, yeah, but ain't no real fight. That's just for your appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
I would say fucking Luffy had
I
an
get your
actual
point.
fight with fucking Buggy. And
You see,
I
it's
have
not
one
about the
pushback.
fight in Bleach,
I have
though.
one pushback
It's
for
the
Bleach.
number one playing in the background.
What about the Grand Fisher
Yeah.
one? Because of his mom dying to Grand Fisher. I
Oh,
argue that's the
that
first
shit-
like real emotional conflict at the very least. I get what you mean, like I'm trying to see some sword play. I get what you're saying though. I got you though. But I think the Grand Fisher one was good.
But yeah, so the three of them, they gas. I mean, and funny enough, One Piece was the one that took me the longest to get into because of the infamous Foxbox /4Kids dubbing that
Thank you for the subscription, Mensa. I appreciate you.
Peace.
It single-handedly to this day ruined One Piece in the US. Like, the One Piece in English will never see the light of day because of what happened during that time period. It just never will. We tried 3 times. We had that, then we had the fucking funny dub on Toonami, then we had it on the Rebirth of Adult Swim. All 3 times, nothing. So that initial English single-handedly ruined this for like at least a generation and a half of people, myself included. Which is funny enough because One Piece is the one that took the longest for me to get into, but I would say is the best. Unfortunately, I hardly remember shit about Bleach. I was listening to y'all talk about Bleach yesterday, and it's like, did I even look at this series? What the fuck is y'all talking about? I don't know none of this terminology y'all talking about.
I had to brush up.
Unfortunately, Naruto is the one that I had the most experience with. And funny enough, I got into Naruto Bleach the same exact way via a fight. Very first thing I saw of Naruto was Naruto versus Sasuke, and the very first thing I saw of Bleach was Ichigo versus Grimmjow. And not the final fight either. When it was in the street.
When he was bouncing with the fist up,
oh
how you bouncing?
Grimmjow did that boy dirty. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's like I got to sort of peak of, or at least a very high top for 2 of them, and then the third one I just had to pretty much go in blind and try to restart from 0. And I would say you're not going wrong with any 3 of them just off of the first 100 episodes. I don't see the point of the meme because all 3 had fire 100 episodes. Some might be slower than others, but regardless, we got extreme gas out of all. Like, you could easily say that during that time period when those chapters was coming out, it was a good ass time period. Not only for Shonen Jump, but just Shonen manga in general.
Bro just said Zabuza arc into Chunin exams is the best 2 arc sequence in all of Shonen. He must be trolling. He has to be.
He ain't read no manga.
He's trolling me. He's trolling me.
Yay!
Thank you, cuz, for the subscription. I'm gonna catch up to the comments. My bad, y'all. I appreciate
Bro,
you.
Impel down the Marine Fort is right there.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
believe. I'm
damn
not
it.
acknowledge
I'm
that.
really far behind. Lando Waits, the tuning exam through Sonata arc is a crazy stretch. Lando Waits is pretty good. Soul Society was peak first arc. First 100 chapters of One Piece was gas. I didn't love One Piece until way after Sky P. And Soul Society was second arc. First 100 of One Piece was aight. Soul Society arc was goaded. Moment I was sold on One Piece when Buggy was executing Luffy at Logtown. Okay. Actually, I just funny. That almost made me drop the series. I was so mad. The first read through. Naruto was such a go-to series. Now I went from weighted ankles to doing gear second poses. Weeaboo, I score a goal and hit the gear second. Yes, sir. Baratie arc was what got me into One Piece. Yeah, same. That movie. I always tell the East Blue legend, the Don Krieg. You already know. My friend verbally described Bleach to me until I had internet to watch it myself. That's funny. That Luffy Toon's argument is so stupid. I'm guess you're talking about the power scaling across all characters. By the way, I do think Luffy is the weakest out of all three. I never didn't think that. I'll say most people don't realize horrible pacing when first watching anime, but watching Naruto, that shit was killing me with how slow it was with wasting time. These days, Shonen Jump manga have their hook moment significantly earlier than the big three did. I think I agree with that. One Piece anime pacing is killing me, bro. Oh, well, I don't. Well, I understand the anime at this point. Hot take: in my opinion, Naruto's second part is way better than part one in story and character and themes. Then okay, Dons have it easy these days watching anime. That's a hot take category. Part one survives off hype. 2 years ago, One Piece was clearer than Naruto, then Bleach. Even though love to death Naruto, not much Bleach, but post time and Wano destroyed everything. One Piece was the best. Bleach second because early slice of life wasn't moving me. Naruto, I felt that runtime every single episode. Buggy
Dang,
Zama.
post time skip. So Shinsekai and Wano kill One Piece. I don't know about that.
Hating
But,
a
I
episode of
mean,
Wano no, not crazy, but you know, first time I heard number one, I was moving. Yeah, it's a good song. Naruto had the best first arc of the big three by leaps and bounds. I was in pain watching Naruto. Niggas spent 5 minutes recounting the previous episode and listened to the intro and outro. The pain of having to watch it live on TV. Man, when I got internet, it was over. I skipped nothing I want. Anything I don't want to see, I don't watch, bro. One Piece had more emotional impact. First 100 episodes in Naruto, you can argue. Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
shoot, I lost where I was at. No, damn, was I that far behind? Something. There we go. Zabuza arc, tuning exams are the best two arcs in Secrets of Shonen. I don't know about that one, brother. First thing I experienced in Naruto was Ninja Storm 3. I was gassed. Damn, that's the worst. I know a lot of people like that because the Ninja Storm was selly. Like, yo, what am I missing? No, I had some friends that got into it through Ninja Storm. I feel you. Starting Naruto, looking at the big picture of OG Naruto. I'm glad I'm not trolling. All right, man. You know, it's each their own. I'm not mad at you. It's your opinion. I disagree with you, but fair enough. Comparable to Water 7th and its lobbies. Hear me out. There's the first 100 episodes of Fairy Tail compare. I would have to remember what happened. So just give me 1 second. Let me catch up first. I'll come back to you. JJK Shibuya might be better than any of the big three arcs. I don't agree with that. Of the big three, the first one I watched was Bleach and was hooked from episode one. Adult Swim, Late Nights, No Sleep. Remember that? Now there was great arcs, but Water 7 to Eddie's Lobby. That's my favorite stretch of fiction. So, um, in general, well, the long arc. I do not exclude the Davy back fight. The Davy back fight to post Eddie's Lobby is my favorite stretch of fiction. Bro, Rock Lee vs. Girl is one of the most iconic fights ever. Yeah, that's true. Marineford is the best work out of the big three. Tower of Heaven is a great arc. Now I really think post time skip One Piece is extremely bad. Katakuri finally got a good take. Shibuya isn't the
But
best JJK arc. Okay, hold on one
his
second before
name
I
is
forget.
Katakuri, though.
Maybe he's a Katakuri
what's going
stan. That's
on?
it. I don't know. Okay, what the hell happened in the first arcs of Fairy Tail? I don't even
I'm not the one
recall.
to tell you. I
Like,
can't tell you,
Yeah,
no.
I only watched 10 episodes. That's it.
like best in my mind, I remember the Orion Seis, the Cobra, cause I like Cobra, I like that nigga, but then Natsu beat him with a yell, and I was pissed. I think Jalal or one of them came and he had to eat like the crystal to like drag it up and fight that dude. I think he fought a wind guy. Like I don't remember it well enough to say. I don't remember it. I don't know where it even ends. But you guys know me. I'm not a fairy tale hater to the degree other people are. They got elite thoughts. I'll let them rock, man. I'll let them rock. The bitches are fire, bro. Shibuya is a modern masterpiece. I don't even disagree with it calling it a modern like I think it's probably the best arc and whatnot. I just I just think some people overrate it. Believe actually truly
Shibuya is
exists.
very.
Man, I need a hold on now. We need a. I think the
Oh.
influence of the emperor is
Uh-oh.
losing its power here in Ape Nation. I think we might need to have a freaking Shibuya. I need to go read that shit and see what the fuck going on and let my voice be heard because I don't like this shit here. I don't like this shit here. Like, bro, how many manga have we read in Shonen Jump to be talking about that fucking Shibuya, the fucking greatest arc in Shonen history? That not only just in Shonen Jump, in all of Shonen period. We have other magazines that focus on this demographic.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on right now? Nah, I think we gotta rectify this. We gotta do something, bro. We gotta do something.
I can't speak for everyone in the comment section, but it is one of those things that used to bother me a lot when I was younger. At this point in my life, like you say something outrageous to me. I'm like, you live your life. You're only anime with okay, I won't say anything more about it then. But live your life.
I will say this. And I'm just sorry to cut you off, Naya. Shibuya is a very good arc.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed about 90% of it, but it has two very clear flaws to me that makes me pull it down from a 9 to like an 8.5. There's too many characters dying, important ones at that, or being removed from the situation. And the ending was very jarring, lackluster, and kind of sloppy, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Like, there was no sense of finality to the arc at all.
Yeah, I didn't like how they did that, but even with some of the chronological order, but it it is what it is. For me, it's an 8. I give it.
It's top 10. Hell no, it is not top 10.
What always kills me with like certain things is I feel like I have a very tepid take, and people lose their mind. Like, what should it be to you? Say 8 out of 10. It was a really good arc. What 8? And they lose their like. I literally feel like Stephen A. When Stephen A. said this, I fucking felt it. He said, I think out of the 75 years of the NBA existing or whatever the case may be, I think LeBron James is the second greatest of all time. And you guys act like I said his mother should like die in a fire in a volcano. Like I don't know why this happens to me because I don't like it as much as other people. They get mad at me because and then they try to pretend I didn't understand it. I'm smarter than you. I definitely understood it. I am much more intelligent than you. I know I understood it, right? Let's say I don't miss stuff and some things I don't get because the level of care and like how much I look at every nook and cranny depends on my personal investment and enjoyment. I always say this: the more I care, the more I'll notice. Don't act like that's not the case. But I ain't nothing worse than someone trying to tell me I didn't understand something because I'm like, bro, you're not like, no, we're not doing that. But anyways,
I will say each of the big three has at least 2 arcs better than Shibuya.
Yeah.
So you gotta remember, Yeti. The reason why they get mad at you for saying an 8 is because their scales operate on a 3 out of 10. 8, 9, and 10. That's it. So 8 is their lowest score. Some of them might be a little bit more advanced and have a 4 scale. So it's 7, 8, 9, and 10. The majority of them only have a 3 scale. So you gave it the lowest score that you could give in their book.
It's like sometimes I'm like, I didn't like Skype that much, but a 7 out of 10. I'm like 70%. That's fine. I can live with that. Let's move on.
Bro,
like 70% is not gonna throw me into a frenzy, no matter how much I like the narc. Like, all right, 7 out of 10. That's good. You know what I'm saying?
You don't realize how good 7 out of 10 is. That only that pass a half in grade. That's way above more than 50%. What the fuck is going on? That's 30 away from 100. Hello?
I've never understood it. And then some people, one thing I always say, and this one to some degree, I guess I understand. I don't get too mad. People assume this. There's not a single game that I've played, a single story that I've read, or a thing that I've watched that I think is perfect. Not one. When I get like a 10, it doesn't mean it's perfect. I think it's a masterpiece. That's what I'm saying when I say it's a 10 out of 10. Because I don't think anything's perfect. Not one thing. It's not.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. When I give One Piece a 10, I'm saying it's the most carefully crafted piece of work ever created on the face of this planet in the 65 billion years since the Earth has been around. And in human civilization, we have all been blessed and fortunate to live in the same timeline as Eiichiro Oda. And we will never, ever in any lifetime see another work as good, goated, and appreciated as One Piece ever again.
The
And if you ever
zenith,
fix your mouth to
the
say
best,
something about
the
the pinnacle
best.
of fiction, there will be a problem, and I will show up on your doorstep and preach the holy Bible of One Piece. All right, let me stop.
I'm, I'm crying. I'm crying. And then I think another thing that I would really like some people to get is I understand we have these conversations, these discourse, and then I'll get into like actually talking about some of the big three stuff that I want to talk about. Like, I understand we get into these like debates and discussions and arguments, whatever the case is, but I think some people need to understand the way that I operate. I think you guys are like this for the most part too. More often than not, if you say something stupid, we're gonna be like, "What?" Like, you can come to me and say, "I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the GOAT." Now, I don't agree with that, but make your case. You make enough sense. I'm not gonna argue with you. Same thing like I used to say with like Nas versus Jay-Z. If you come to me and you think Nas is the greatest rapper of all time, why would I blow a gasket? You're talking about fucking Nas. Now, I might think it's Jigga, but hey, man, to each their own. We're different. We're not the same person. I get that. Some people like when I tell them like, oh, like I wasn't feeling that, I didn't like it, or to each their own, whatever. I think they get mad at how dismissive I am because your opinion doesn't actually mean that much to me. I don't fucking care what you do or don't like. I am not you. I do not live in your body, I don't live in your mind. You think Boku no Pico is the greatest thing of all time? Who am I to tell you otherwise? I don't agree, but keep going. Like I always feel like they want me to fight. Like no, like defend your point better. Like I like this more. I'm good. And I think that infuriates them because I always can make my case. I've known that since I was like 16. I can make an argument for anything. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I know how to defend myself and create a great argument. But ultimately, you come to me and you go, I think Ichigo was stronger than Naruto, and I thought Naruto was stronger. I'm like, hey, fair enough. Keep going. That bothers people, I think. I don't know why though. I don't care. It's not that important to me. Do I get paid more if my opinion is right? No. Fuck do I care? You fear that my hero sales will surpass One Piece. Do I get paid more for each fucking volume of One Piece that Oda sells? Like, I don't understand this. Like, he's over there, he's fuming, he's mad. My nigga, I'm chilling. I've been on the internet long enough to know how to operate. I do not give a fuck. Anyways. Yeah, that should be killing me. That shit is so funny to me, bro. If you like,
Hold up, yeah.
if you wanted me to care so badly, I'm just like, I'm pretty nonchalant about this. I said what I had to say. You didn't agree. Let's just move on to the next topic. It's fine. I can agree, disagree. Like I am a 30-year-old man. I do not give a damn, brother. These are drawings in a book. It's not that deep. Top 10 LOL. 6 will find a best. Better evacuate. Category Shibuya. At least write it correctly. Hold up. Oh, wait. I read that already. I agree on many 20 characters dying, but the twists and emotions were really amazing. I felt no emotion. Many characters' death meant nothing to me. You just gloss over them with no look back. Real and true. For me, it's not people dying. It's the characters that I enjoyed that died. So left in the one. That's kind of what it was with me. Listen, I'm not mad if y'all think Shibuya isn't in top 10. In my opinion, you argue it's the best, or at least top 5. That's fair. I feel like the Bible clears One Piece. I don't even know. I don't think so.
I mean,
If I
the
could choose
Bible,
one,
the Bible,
I'm picking One Piece. That's all
the
I'm
Bible
saying.
got Jesus, but it don't got no Sanji Vince smoke. So,
Does it got the sun god Nika? I don't think so.
no.
One Piece is a 5 out of 10. First half masterpiece, great. Second half trash. He's sucking Oda too hard. Unit to the medium. Tears in my eyes. Unit to the medium. LML. Spitting. Facts. Pat. Church of Oda. Goda. I won't. I want to let you know I have low IQ, so don't bully me. We don't engage in cyberbullying. I do. I cyberbully. I bully, and I, my brother in Christ. Where are you? This in your background. I'm in my living room. Just the internet was already chipping in my room when I started the stream. Like I'm not even gonna play around. I just came in my living room. Talk. Can't wait till the mid-hero ends. Naya made a meathead One Piece video and still got mad comments. The Bible got some bangers. What do you mean, Jesus greater than Luffy? I don't think he can handle the Toon Force, bro. Shout out to my nigga Abraham. The Old Testament can get pretty dark. Bullying builds character, yes, and so does being an elitist and being a gatekeeper. So yeah, we can
Bro
talk
said I
about.
was sucking Oda too hard. I'm not sucking him hard enough. You gotta understand. This is the best
This is
piece of
not my
work ever
final
created
form.
in human life.
Oh, all right. So I want to start. We'll start with Naruto here. Let me ask you guys something. What do you guys think is I'll ask you two. We'll start here. What do you think the best thing to you about Naruto is? And you guys in the comment section, let me know as well. I don't care if you like it, you're indifferent, you hate it, you think it's the greatest. What do you think Kishimoto like does the best when it comes to like Naruto? If you could
Um,
pinpoint a specific thing.
Jesus. Fuck.
his 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 power system.
Okay, so chakra.
Yes,
Okay.
and the many different dojutsu that he encompasses in the series and what they can do. He kind of lost his way a little bit in the final arc, letting Kakashi have an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. That was what? But I like the way that they were all derivative of each other. He didn't stray away from that. So like obviously you have the Byakugan, and they always emphasize that the Sharingan came from the Byakugan, and then you have the Rinnegan, which is above those two, and then later on the final villain in the series does have like um what's it called? It's a Byakugan. It's not actually a Byakugan. I've only read the Final War arc once, so
Mhm.
my knowledge on that is not as strong as everything else. But I love the way that you can use three different techniques with the Mangekyo Sharingan, and then I like that you lose your. It came with drawbacks. Is what I'm trying to say. Like anything that he put together, it had either a drawback or a consequence.
Mhm. Okay.
Um,
Simi.
Chakra Affinity, I think, was really dope too. Like
Oh,
the wind, lightning, fire, earth, water for every person specifically. I think that was pretty good.
okay. What about you, Simi? He got glasses. I'm joking. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
That's the one of the greatest.
Um. Uh. I think I would say aesthetics. He probably
Okay.
does aesthetics the best. The way that just the way they not even necessarily the character designs, but just how they dress, how the world looks, is something that has the Western world, especially fucking America, in a chokehold to this day.
Mhm.
It
Just the other
poisoned them.
day, just the other day, this week, saw a man damn with freaking Akatsuki shorts on the train. I think I
I have an
think he
Akatsuki durag, so I can't say nothing. But I didn't buy it.
I have an Akatsuki cloak.
I
So
have
there
like,
you
but I
go.
have like 4 One Piece durags though. So you know what I'm saying.
I have
Yeah,
no Naruto merchandise.
It's just for me. It's just the one
so
durag. Go ahead though.
hey man, listen, we was in Naruto back in the day. We was running around here with our arms. We was running around here with our arms behind us. We was doing fucking jutsu signs.
I never really did that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Naruto one I don't think I really did. But you know how Itachi used to have his arm in his. I used to walk
Yup.
around like that.
Yup. All of it. All of it. We was trying, bro. I was trying to run up tree, mark where I get my fucking foot up, everything. We was doing everything. I'm sorry.
Oh god.
But
But
anyways, I think aesthetics. Yeah, I think aesthetics because people just I think his power system fell off, and y'all agree. So I can't give it to that. I think, but I do think the one thing that he got just consistently is aesthetics. Just the way the characters dress, their clothing, shit, even how their moves look and whatnot. Just people just really like that shit. And you just see it everywhere from the like the Jonin jackets to fucking Akazi cloak, headbands, all type of fucking Uzumaki swirl, all of that. The Sasuke, I mean the Uchiha fan, all of that. They just really like the fucking aesthetics, and quite frankly, I think he did a good job with them.
I used to be such a fiend for hand signs. I see niggas doing hand signs. I used to lose my mind. Like, yo, what you about to pull out? Look it up. I used to be so gaga for that shit.
um, for me, oh jeez, I was hoping when you guys were talking, I'd come up with something, but
Right?
My God.
I was hoping to come up with something. Like I could tell you things that I like, but as an author and artist, what is Masashi Kishimoto, in my opinion, the best at? They can power scaling makes sense. I do think Naruto has cool clothing aesthetics, and I like how sometimes technology and like they be in like sandals and shit, but like they have like some pretty crazy technology sometimes and whatnot. Ooh.
No, come on, man. We got to be nice to Naruto here. This is the
No,
first
no, no,
100
no, no.
chapters.
Just give me. Not. It's not even about the first 100. Just in general. It's just.
Oh,
I probably agree with you. Like chakra, I know it kind of falls apart at the end, but I don't think it's a bad power system at all. It's very serviceable. It works well. I even like. I know that has some overlap with Hunter x Hunter because they're both a reference. I can't remember what it is, so they're referencing. They're both referencing the same thing. But I remember when we learned that, like because Haku had like ice and wind, or was it water and wind? Those two together, that makes the ice Geki Genkai stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it makes
yeah.
sense to me. That was all pretty cool. I'd probably go with that. So I'll probably agree with you, Pat. Probably go with the power system. And if and in a series where might makes right, having a energy and magic system, whether it's soft or hard, that works well is very important. So it's a good thing that he had a pretty good grasp on that. So yeah. The thematical themes, cycle of hatred really does something to me. I like it. So they said probably fights, storytelling, fights. Um, I think the power progression was great until the end of the war arc. Okay, the characters are pretty good. I like them. We Naruto tired here. Kubo did the best aesthetic in my opinion in the big three. Naruto runs. That was a phase when Itachi crazy. I was Kishimoto. I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read that. Talk about the peak storytelling. I mean, we don't agree with you on that. You got to make the video. Bleach cosplay never really caught on the way Naruto ones did. I even agree with that. My goat and I hope you have a good day. Hope you're well too, Abdel. Y'all such haters. He's better writer than Oda, in my
Because
opinion. That's crazy. It's hard for me to answer that question.
Bleach
You know a little bit of
characters,
everything, but not one thing particularly stood out. I think that kind of makes sense to me. Like he didn't have one standout stat. Like this one's 100, the rest are like 60. You know? That makes sense.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. 100%
Well, I was just gonna
with
say
it.
Bleach characters wear a Shihakusho, which is extremely Japanese. So it's like it's not anything that stands out too much. Only thing he does is put a captain cloak over them.
Mhm.
It's the color pages and stuff that when he's drawing the characters in a natural setting, that's when they look cool as shit.
Mhm. But just for the sake of like not like saying something good, I do want to say this. I've always thought Orochimaru was a really good villain antagonist. I like him. He's dope. I like that guy. I think Naruto versus Sasuke Part One is still one of the 10 greatest anime fights. One of the ones that I've seen. I think that's a really good fight, and I think it's very well animated. And even when I reread it in the manga in color, I liked it. It was really good. That's a really good fight. And I
It's
remember
an amazing fight.
yeah, that's a very fucking good fight. So like, it's not all bad. And I used to be a Neji stan, but that I lost. I lost there. You said who has the best raw character design? Who has the best character
In
design to
Naruto,
me?
you talk about one character or like which series has the best
Oh, I think he's
What do you
talking
mean
about.
in general?
I think he's talking
Like,
about.
in general?
Oh, if you're talking in general, it's Kubo. I think it's Kubo
Yeah,
for
it's gotta be
design.
Bleach.
For design. We'll get to that. But do you have one for Naruto? Like a best character design?
The best character design in Naruto.
Mm. I kind of like. I
Um,
kind of like how Neji looks. Probably go with Neji.
uh,
that
I'm
shit's
really
that's
impartial
ugly.
to the Uchihas. I really like uh Sasuke, like and Shippuden, Itachi overall. Madara, young Madara specifically, he looks so fucking cool.
Mm.
Um,
I like Tobirama's design.
Minato,
Mm.
Minato looks cool as hell. Like his Hokage cloak just different, bro. That shit is different.
Yeah, it's clean. Um, Simi, you have one or not?
Single best?
Oh,
Oh
you had one in there. Yeah, I went.
shit. Honestly, it low key might be fucking Itachi.
I'm not mad at that. That makes sense to me. So, Six Paths Naruto. No lines, great design. That's a good design. Naruto Six Paths. Minato needed extra swagger on his quote. I respect it. Okay, so for Taite Kubo, what is the thing that you think
Yeah,
he does the best? There's a reason why I'm asking this
he
because I'm going to ask a general question after we talk about all the three. But go ahead.
okay. He is a master at making great characters. And not only
Speak on it.
is he great at making characters visually appealing, it's the way he humanizes them that I absolutely adore. It's like they're real people sometimes. I'll give two examples. So the first one is, now you kind of alluded to it earlier when you were talking about Ichigo versus Grand Fisher. When Rukia was watching Ichigo fight, she was holding herself and remembering when Kaien fought the what's his name, Aronero, when he was a Gillian before he became an Orankar, and she was remembering the speech that Ukitake gave her about like how a man has two fights in his life, to protect something and then protect his pride.
Mhm.
And then she was telling herself like, even if Ichigo dies here, you can't interfere. And like, you can look at like the subtle hints, like when he's drawing, like the way she's looking down to the side, just like how a normal person would when they're remembering something painful. And then like we get the full meat and potatoes of it later when we get the backstory. We're like, oh, that's why she was like that back then. And then another one is Orihime. You know why Orihime gets so much hate in the anime community? Because she's a very sweet girl. But um, when Yami and Ulquiorra first came to the world of the living, and Yami like backhanded her, and she got fucked up because Ichigo was struggling with White trying to control his Bankai and stuff like that, so he lost. And Ichigo, like, he's like a regular teenager, so he got depressed that he couldn't protect his friend. And Orihime like wanted to cheer him up, like, yo, I'm fine, but like she couldn't do it. But Rukia came, cheered his ass up right away. So then later on that night, she's letting Rangiku stay at her club, at her crib. I said club, crazy. But Rangiku's like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're not like your energetic self. And like, she's feeling guilty because she's like, yo, I like Rukia. She's my friend. But, she's able to cheer up the boy that I like that. I can't do anything. Like, that kind of makes me jealous. I feel bad. Why am I not jealous of my friend? Like, that's regular human emotions of a teenage girl. You don't really get that in like most shonen manga. Not really. They don't really focus on characters like that.
Okay. Um, before you go, Simi, they said fights and character designs. I don't know. I watched the anime. Artwork, it ain't close. That Yoruichi panel had the horny motherfuckers in the strangle. The one where she's in that cat mode at the very end. Character
Ah,
emotions, character relations with their abilities. I think that's a really good answer. But
yeah,
these characters too are boring to me. Not saying he didn't write them well, just me who don't like them outside the hype.
that's
Five,
fine. It's
five,
not gonna appeal to everyone.
five ads. Why Twitch is? I'm gonna steal something you said yesterday, and I'm gonna make his and say his poetry, but also Ronaldson swag. He's definitely the best in terms of entrances. What do
Oh
you think?
yeah.
Yeah, Simi, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say it's freaking just artwork in general.
Mm,
From fight the way that being able to follow fights, mainstream art, not having the panels cluttered, so on and so forth.
mm,
He does all of that the best easily. I'd actually also say that he does atmosphere very good. Atmosphere the best,
mm,
I would say, out of the three of them, because as y'all know, urban fantasy is my favorite strain of fantasy. And one of the heavy genres that make up, or heavy subgenres that make up urban fantasy is horror. And I think he does a good job at that, especially the horror aspect. I should say the horror aspect in the human world, if you will. The daily life slash substitute soul reaper arc, I think, did a really good job of portraying how terrorizing hollows can be. And even in this latest anime adaptation of Thousand Year Blood War, I think he did a good job of portraying the despair
Oh yeah.
when the fucking Quincy's came and went on fucking was playing Midway's classic game fucking Rampage. Right? So
mm.
I think he does atmosphere really well, but it has to be artwork for sure. Just streamlined, easy to follow, easy to look. You never well, I can't say that, but when it comes to like what's happening, you can't really be confused on when you're looking at these panels. And not that much. Both Naruto and One Piece suffer from this. One Piece didn't used to once upon a time, but now it does. With clutter, fucking too much shit on the screen at one time. Naruto, I actually don't even really like Kishimoto's art. I think it's too fucking sketchy looking. I don't like that fucking sketchy, like rough
Etch a sketch, like Finn
lines.
says. Etch a
Yeah.
sketch.
Well, it's not quite etch a sketch
No,
like
it's not. It's
Capability of
not like
Mortal, but it's
JJK
still
level. I know. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
But
like a light.
it's kind of there, yeah. Right. So I think fucking Kubo does that the best. He has the most streamlined. Like his art, like if you was to put some panels of Bleach next to something that came out in the modern era, like fucking a Mashal or something like that, you wouldn't be able to tell that Bleach came out in the year 2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 2000. It's 2001, right? Not 2002.
For the manga, yes.
Yeah.
The manga is 2001.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you would not be able to tell the time period in which Bleach came out. So I think I would say artwork for me is my answer.
Okay. Yeah, artwork is obviously a really good answer. For me, I think out of all this, actually, that's not necessarily true. I'd say my opinion on each series or where I was with them, all of them changed drastically. It's just that some went in the other direction. Where like I would argue the older I get and the more I try to revisit Naruto or I talk about or visit it, the less I like it. With Bleach, it has the opposite effect. And I think that was true from the last year when we did the revisionist history, where I haven't kind of reread it. I'm like, I'm looking at this from a different perspective, and I liked a lot of things a lot more. But I actually want to say something that I think might shock a lot of people. I actually do think he has really, really well written characters.
Let's
Like
go.
it's funny because this is my favorite character in Bleach, but I totally forgot about Byakuya losing his wife, disobeying the nobles, finding Rukia actually being his like sister-in-law type of thing, and how much of an effect that had on him. That's where a lot of his aloofness comes from. Because when you see him as a young kid, what does his grandfather say to him? If only he could control his what? His temper. He's a fucking wild child,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Now he's saying it in a noble way, like, "All right, you seem to want to incur my wrath, Yodoichi." But like he's he's a little unhinged, and I don't think I realized that beforehand. Beforehand, I probably would have told you if you asked me for a decade ago or like 6 years ago, I probably would have told you Bleach had the worst characters out of all of them. But yeah, I think obviously it's his artwork, and that's like in every aspect. That's the thing where I think he really shines. It's the characters, designs, the fights, how your eyes flow really well when you're watching a fight. One thing that what it's a small detail, I think he does this really well. I like when a character is caught off guard. I think he does that really well. When they even dodge an attack, they barely dodged. It looks very believable to me. There was one that I was reading the other day because I was kind of rereading it like when I was waiting for the upload, so I was kind of reading it. And I think this is when Shinji puts up an Aizen and he's going for it, and Tosin comes out of nowhere and he dodges that by like a breath's hair. And Tosin's like, yo, I tried to lob your head off from the left eye and above. And I'm like, all those near dodges look really, really clean. Like if you ever revisit it, look up for that. And he does really good emoting with facial emoting, like things said earlier, like someone's kind of sad and they look down to the left like a human would when they want to avert the gaze of another person. So this thing that I noticed, whatever. But I actually think Katan's answer with character emotions and character relations with their abilities, that's a very good thing he does too. So I definitely think that's a great answer. So
yeah, I got a fucking Bleach needs a desperate read from your boy because all that shit. Even now, I'm like, boy, what the fuck is y'all talking about? I remember, fuck boy.
Abdel said tension.
God, that should be a rewrite.
Tension, Abdel said.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Tension also goes into atmosphere. So
yeah, like that first Quincy invasion. Jesus Christ, It felt like I could feel the emotions of the characters. Like as I was reading it, I was like, "Yo, do you think this is some really deep shit?"
Them niggas in
Shit's
trouble.
not going well for them at all.
All right. What about Una Pieza? One Piece. What do you think Oda does the
You can go
best?
first.
Me?
Yeah,
Damn, they put me on the spot. Now it's my turn to
because
start it off.
it's your baby. Even though you'd be trying to like rough it up a little bit.
Sometimes I gotta wring. Sometimes I gotta wring its neck. Sometimes I gotta wring its neck. I think there's some things that I want to say, but I have to wait now because he's got to re-earn that from me. But I'll say the thing that One Piece fans pretend they care about. that's the adventure aspect because they don't care about that. I care about that. They care about high div, low div, mid div, no div, baby shake. That's what they care about. Um, but what I think that Oda did really well, and this I'll tell you, I'll start with this. Because this is the main reason that I thought One Piece was kind of brilliant the first time I read it. I love that in a world where the easiest way to get supernatural abilities is to eat a devil fruit, and it's a world that's mostly water, where there's marines and pirates who are constantly traveling on ships. And to get those supernatural abilities, you have to pretty much relinquish your ability to swim, which I think is kind of brilliant. Like I think that's a serious drawback in a world like this, right? Not that our world isn't still predominantly ocean, but I think One Piece is more so is like that. Where like there's a lot of water, bro. Like, could you imagine just on the wrong day by yourself? Like I was like Ace. I was like Ace and like Aokiji are unhinged. I'm like you got fall in the water. Like maybe Aokiji could freeze it instantly if he drops off that bike and be all right. You know, like Ace. Are you gonna evaporate all the water in the ocean if you fall in on your little skateboard? Like, bro, get off of that. Get on a real ship. It's dangerous. What if you
He's
get hit by a
he's
tidal
just
wave?
him though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For a really long time, I thought he was one of the absolute best at handling an ever expanding cast. For a long time, I think he's kind of lost that, or at the very least, I don't think he did that well in Wano. But for me, Oda's best trait has always been how he interweaves things and he hides very important things without having to put extreme emphasis on it. And I've always liked that. Like if it's like the last panel of a chapter and it's like, do you not know who that is? You're gonna be like, who is that? He might put that on page 6, random panel number 9, and you did not know how important that motherfucker was. And he and it's she and like and when you call back to it, you're like, oh my god, he planted that seed early. He watered it off screen, and then it bloomed into a wonderful flower later on. And I've always thought that was the thing he did the best. He always catches me off guard with something like that I didn't think was possibly that important or character that important, and they were a lot more vital to the story than I thought he was. So his kind of storytelling style has some flaws, but I've always thought it was his best trait.
Arc and fight finishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Just end thread. Arc
And
and
thread.
fight finishes.
Yes.
That's it. We could have said so much.
Mhm.
What you said, I wanted to say comedy, but no.
Comedy's up there.
Arc and fight finishes.
World building is the
Oh
easy
my
answer.
God.
That's fair. Backstory and world building and comedy, yeah, that's fair too. But yeah, I think it's a storytelling. I like his style of storytelling. It does come with a con, but that's what everything in this world. That
I would say exploration and cast interaction. And when I say cast interaction, that's like amongst all the characters, friends
the main
and
cast.
foes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's like a 1A, 1B thing. I say exploration because I will never forget. Like, I've always appreciated, like, well, not I said adventure, but like when I say exploration, I mean like the whole island, like they're on, that they go place to place to. The first thing that was like kind of out there to me was like, oh, a restaurant at sea. That was pretty cool with Barati and shit. I was like, okay, it makes sense. In a place where you sail everywhere, there has to be like a restaurant that goes on the sea. Then the next one that like kind of threw me for a loop was Skypiea, because I was like, there's an island in the sky. Like, those people have like their own customs. And, like, there's things that you can and can't do. Like, if you fall through the clouds, you're gonna fall down to the water below. Like, you're done. And then on top of that, they had like multiple continents, so it's not just one sky island; it's multiple. Then later on, this to this day, this is the most creative shit I've ever seen in my life. This nigga made an underwater prison, and every level is a different area. I was like, bro, it's
Isn't it
like I'm
also
getting
based on like
5
Buddhist
different
hell or something
islands
like
in
that? I don't remember
one.
if I remember that correctly, but it's based on like something.
Some, something
Right.
like that. But like, they had the desert, which was that was level 3, right? Level 3 was the desert. God, it's
I
been so
believe
long.
so. I believe so. I think it's what
And
the. Oh my god! Is the first level going? Which one's the spikes? Level 1 or 2?
that's level 2, because level 1 is just a regular
Then I
jail
think you're
area.
right. I think 3 was desert. I think 4 was like the actual boiling, sweltering spot.
Yes,
5 was the the
ice
winter
hell.
wasteland, and then 6 is the
Yeah.
hidden floor. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 3.
hmm I'm just like, and then not only there was 2 hidden floors, level 6 and level 5.5. So he spun us for a double loop. So I'm just like, bro, his creativity knows no bounds. Like, every island just is so distinct, unique. Even Water 7, like, it's an area that has a goddamn tsunami every single year, and then these people are trying to find a way to circumvent that with the sea train and stuff like that. But I get so excited seeing new islands because I'm like, what's so special about this one now? Like, it's like seeing a shiny new toy. I'm like, oh, let's go to that island. I want to see it. Even Punk has it. I was like, half hot and a half ice. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then, like, with character interaction, the things that some of these characters say to each other, it can like either be funny or like foreboding or like make you think. Like, the most recent example was when Kaido was fighting Luffy on the rooftop, and Luffy's using Future Sight to evade his attacks, and Kaido's like, "Straw Hat, do you think you're doing something special?" And then, out of nowhere, he sees into the future. I'm like, "Yo, what?"
These crazy things he did, and then his
All
big
time,
ass dragon form. Like that's what I was like. What the hell? For a big ass target, how you
or
dodging that?
even like just like even the moments when characters say things to each other, like when Luffy first comes to Whitebeard at Marineford, he's like, "I heard about you. You're trying to be the king of the pirates. Well, that ain't gonna work, because I'm gonna be the king of the pirates." And he just like shuts everybody at Marineford, like, "Bro, do you know who you're talking to? Like, keep your voice down." Like, bro, don't talk to that man like that.
And I feel it.
Or even Katakuri, like in the middle of their fight when Flambe interrupts it, and then he yells at his own siblings. He was like, "You can't interrupt the fight between two grown men. If you're gonna laugh at him, laugh at me." And then they're like, "Oh, it's getting noisy in here." They both use Conqueror's Hockey, and he's like, "I respect you. I don't know. I no longer believe that you're beneath my level." I'm
Mhm.
like, shit like that goes a long way for a series. It makes it stand out more.
Mhm. All right. So now I'm gonna ask you guys this: What's something? What are some things you think all 3 series did well, do well, just across the board? If you had to, you don't have to.
Um,
It have to be any one thing. Just give me something.
all three fights and artwork.
Okay. Simi, you
I
got any?
like. I like all three of them.
What about you, Mr.
Uh,
Emperor?
shit. Let me think. Oh shit. You know, that pop back. I know they y'all know the concept. That pop back. Hey.
Like pure hype. Okay.
I would actually say probably like powers or like main move, like main finishing move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because fucking Rasengan is pretty cool. I still think Rasengan is cool. Fucking Gets Good Tencho is cool. And then fucking, I mean, Luffy has a fucking a plethora, but just fucking Gatling
Yeah,
And
Gatling.
pistol, I would
That's
say, is also equally iconic, even though it's not a beam or an energy type move. So I would say like special moves. Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, special moves across the board.
Yeah.
For all the characters too, not just the main character, but well, yeah, they're antagonists and heroes as well.
So starting with artwork, I think Kubo has the best artwork. I think One Piece.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
very much have always liked One Piece's art style. It's distinct, but I do think it's an acquired taste. I don't think it's for everybody. I think Bleach is one of those things. You see a Bleach painting or drawing from Kubo, anyone could appreciate it because it's just so sleek and nice and raw and like very polished. The thing that I've always said with One Piece though is I think that its aesthetics is a good veil for how dark it really is. I don't think people realize how dark One Piece really is. It's very like a lot of bad things really
Yes.
happen in One Piece, and I
Yes.
think the artistry being as over the top and goofy as it is has always been a veil to cover that up so that we can see some of the darker themes as older people or older adults, but the kids can be like Luffy make a funny face, yeah, it was so raw, like it's it's like one of those things. I think from an artistry standpoint, Kishimoto does suffer is the worst. I don't even think his art is like bad or anything, but I just think that it is probably the worst. But I do think Kishimoto's art style is more palatable to more people because it's not as zany and over the top as One Piece's art style is. I don't know if you guys agree with that though.
I would say I liked Kishimoto's art style a lot because he's very good at body proportions.
Okay.
Characters look like if they came out the page and we were turned into a regular human being, you would see a regular person. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not
The
the fucking
scaled, they scaled realistically.
yes, it's not the overly busty characters that Bleach be having. Hey, Kubo be drawing with his dick in his hands sometimes, bro.
And that's the gas. We need that back. We need unapologetic back.
And now he's telling
And
his
then like
son Gege, where the fire bitches at?
Exactly.
Where they at?
Oh,
look,
bad bitches.
hey, tangent. He asked that nigga where the bad bitch is at, and Twitter lost their minds. That shit
Yup.
was crazy.
They literally had
What
a
a time.
fucking Toto moment. It's like, oh, I like a girl who has a good attitude and a nice personality. Turn that off. I like a girl that was tall with a fat ass. I said, see, that's the
Yeah.
right answer. He said, turn that off. They all did meteors well. You know what? Facts. The like 4 month period, they all had someone summon a meteor in their series. That's a good point. But all right, I'm sorry. What did I cut off? But yeah, I go Kubo or the Kishi, but
Oh no
I
no no.
still think Kishimoto's artwork is the general audience would accept it a lot more. I think One
Yeah
Piece you got to
yeah.
kind of
Oh,
get it first,
One Piece characters are very very zany looking, and I like it a lot. I think it makes it funny, but I know everybody's not into that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say comedy. They all do comedy well, but then I thought back. I'm like, Naruto's not funny to me anymore. Like Naruto humor doesn't do anything for me at all.
I I don't recall like not laughing, but just not as much. Definitely not as much as One Piece and Bleach do be having me howling sometimes. I
Yeah, Bleach is
I
actually like undercover funny as fuck.
yeah yeah. Um, Yoruichi can make a dog and spit on me. Oh my god. I agree with Kubo a bit when he was talking about JJK women. Gege usually like I can't read half his comments. The Gege usually don't make him look as feminine as the way Kubo drawn. Bad bitches. Yeah, you need that. You need that. We said what? We said artwork and fights. Do you have to pinpoint one? This one is personal. I don't really care what you think. I don't think it's whatever. Which one do you think generally has the best fights? In your opinion, if you had to pick one? I still go with Bleach, actually.
Bleach.
But I think my favorite fights in One Piece, like the top 5, I like way more than like any other fights for the most part. If that makes sense. Like
That's
the
what I'm
high
about to
high.
say because I'm like, bro, Luffy got some good ass fights, dog. Like
He
Luffy
do.
got some gas fights, but then you could argue he really one of the only ones who got gas fights.
What the thing with Bleach for me that makes me say it has the best fights is that Kubo normally has specific characters for the specific type of fight he wants to show you, whether it be tactical, meathead,
Keto.
or like all around. Yeah, keto. Like if you're looking for a fight that's gonna showcase all the things that you can do, you're gonna have Byakuya front and center. If you're looking for meathead niggas, it's gonna be Zaraki and another meathead nigga.
Mm,
If you're looking for like straight hype, it's gonna be Ichigo.
okay.
Yeah, I would say his palette, the the quantity of characters that have good fights in Bleach is higher than fucking um One Piece, I would say. So yeah, Bleach probably gets it by default just off of that. Because
Mm-hmm.
even though as I really like Luffy fights, like outside of that, maybe like one or two Sanji fights and like maybe like 1.5 Zoro fights. Can't really say that for much of anybody else,
I
right?
think the problem is with One Piece, the other characters' fights are good, but they'd be short. Like Sanji's fights
Yeah.
happen in the blink of an eye. That should be really short, man.
I've always say Sanji decides when he wants to win. All right, do you have me underwater? Put my shoes on. All right, enough of this. You're done. Right? Like he's wait. Oh, when you turn to Nami, you can't use your Kenpo. You're done. Oh, you talking shit about Robin? Diablo job. You're done. All right, I'm tired of this fucking dinosaur, this fat ass dinosaur talking shit. First of all, none of Vince Smoke, Ifrit job. You're done. Like he he decides when he wants to win. So I'll give him that. I think Zoro has two outstanding fights. That's Bones. I think that fight is his best fight.
Yeah, there it goes. We're
That
doing
that
with
fight
it.
is incredible, and I think it's Kaku. I really I like. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Simi. I promise you, they went crazy in the anime. Watching Zoro cut through like 55 lava dragons versus King. That shit was so clean. It's not in the manga, so I don't know how to weigh it this point. Yo,
I
that
haven't
shit.
seen it. I actually haven't seen it.
Yo, I saw how to do with it, but like that didn't move me. That didn't move me. And y'all at this point know how much I respect Luffy versus Rob Lucci. That's my favorite fight of all time. So
That's one of the greatest fights of all time.
I,
Period.
with some
Like,
of the greatest emotional weight and stakes to it, in my
I,
opinion.
I will go a step further and say that has the best conclusion of any anime fight I've ever seen in my life.
Chat,
bro, oh my
boom, boom. Do you see all the hands hitting him? God,
Look,
oh my
to the
god.
wall. Still going.
look.
You still punch him
Watch,
through the wall.
watch op.com, dog.
Yo,
Y'all wasn't there. That's why I don't like One Piece the way we do. Y'all weren't there. The
Oh my
subtitles
god.
said "Gumu Gumu no," and it started getting like big and slow. I was like, and it said "Jack boom, Gasolino." The subtitles was turning different colors and vibrating on the screen.
it was moving with like each hit, like to let you know, like he's still Gatling. Like it's still going. It's shaking. I was like, yo, I can't believe it, blood. Blood, I can't believe it.
I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest shit ever. I was going nuts.
Oh man. But yeah. What about Naruto fights? Because we talked about Naruto versus Sasuke. That one's incredible. I like Jiraiya versus Pain when he dies. I think that's one of my favorite fights. I like that one a lot. That one had a lot of emotional weight to it, even though I wasn't a Jiraiya stan. I thought he did a good job with it. Like,
I like Jiraiya a lot, so I was
yeah.
pretty hurt.
I don't like round 2 of Naruto versus Sasuke. Personally, I'm not a fan of it.
I don't either.
When they start the fight in the anime specifically, I don't remember this in the manga. I haven't read it in a while. There's a part where like Sasuke's piecing up Naruto and he uses his like own like Naruto's hand to weave his hand signs. That part was gas. But that's where like it ends for me.
That was in the manga. Yeah.
Okay. Orochimaru versus Sarutobi. I like that. That was really good. Obviously Rock Lee versus Gaara is a classic. Though I can admit I'm actually a little tired of seeing it because remember there was a time on the TL. Y'all remember this
Yeah,
fight? And every
all
fucking
the
time
intros.
we didn't forget. We all liked the fight. You're not saying anything profound. That shit was so annoying. Um, I
Rocky
want,
versus Kimimaru.
no, yeah. That was good.
Yeah,
Bone Man. That's Bone
yeah,
Man, right? That was good. That was good.
yeah.
The drunken fist. That was clean. That was clean.
That was
Personally
a
for
fight
me,
between two hands only niggas. No jutsus, just hands. We're
good
fighting.
time, good time.
Mhm.
Personally for me, I still love to this day. I mean, I'm not going to, but at least the way the anime did it, I still fucking love Sakura Lady Chio versus Sasori. I thought
Oh,
that was
that's a great fight.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
a
one.
great
That's a
fight.
good one.
absolutely
That's a good one.
fucking phenomenal.
That's a good one.
That fight set the tone for part two for me that I thought it was gonna follow, but then it fucking did.
Mhm.
That fight is absolutely phenomenal. Simple fact that bro, you can't get hit once. This nigga poison. He cut you once, that's it is done.
Iron
I'm
Sand,
like,
you're cooked.
we took the character that we all hated the most and put it in some gas pack. I couldn't believe my eyes. Oh my god, I couldn't believe my eyes. Dog.
Ah,
Mhm.
Damn.
Chatter wants to
I
know if
would
we think
say
that Naruto has the best hand-to-hand combat out of the big three, like just like fist to fist
No,
with like taijutsu.
no.
no. That would be One Piece.
There it
But
is. Thank you. Luffy's right there.
but what do I always say, Simi, about Kishimoto? What this nigga do when he made Naruto?
He was looking over his
He
shoulder,
looked
and
at
who next he was
Togashi's
looking at? Yup.
Togashi's homework. And I'll give him credit for this. When it came to the fighting portion, oh yeah, he was copying the shit out this nigga homework. Because Naruto's fights are very tactical. And it's not to the degree of Hunter, where it's kind of annoying sometimes where they're talking too much, but they do a great deal of thinking of what their opponent is doing and convey it and then execute a counter method to it. And I've always appreciated that about Naruto. Um, I think from the very beginning with Kakashi versus Zabuza, that was a very good showcase of that, where Kakashi was trying to gauge what Zabuza's ability was, and then Zabuza was trying to see how he could counter the Sharingan, and he actually got the drop on him. He got the drop on him. I'm gonna say it again. He got the drop on him. Kakashi sucks, but
I like Kakashi.
when I think about like the best fights, obviously Naruto versus Sasuke at the Valley of the End. That's a timeless classic. The absolute timeless. Um, Sasuke versus Itachi. I think that's the best fight in the entire series because it did a little bit of everything:
I think
ninjutsu,
that's my
taijutsu,
hot take.
genjutsu.
My hot take is that I
That
don't
shit
like that
fight
fight.
sucks.
But yeah,
Bro,
I don't
hate
like
that
that fight.
fight.
Yeah, I hate it. That's just me though. But that's always been a hot take for me. Like even back when I still liked Naruto and I said that, it was a hot take. But keep going. I just want to be
I legit think that freaking Storm 2 animation carries that fight.
You think
I
so?
recently watched the anime. I'm like, bro, they didn't do shit.
I mean, I liked it, and Sasuke was doing. He had his thinking cap on. He's like, how am I gonna beat this nigga?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a decent counter method for fucking Tsukiyomi. He used the curse mark, and then he used the Dragon Flame Jutsu to set up the Kirin. I was like, and then even the little bits with the throwing the kunais and shit like that, both do Fireball Jutsu. Nah, that fight is gas. I love that fight. Rock Lee versus Kimimaru, we said that, but two niggas just fighting straight hands. Amazing fight. Uh, my hot take is I don't like Naruto versus Pain the way everybody does.
I think it's a good fight. I don't think it's like mind blowingly great, but I've always said this. What's the one time that I said I actually rooted for Naruto? I thought he was cool.
When that nigga dropped him from the sky.
Yes, on the fucking toads and just Rasengan the pain body into oblivion. I said, this is the only time in your life, to me, you've been cool. I do not like your orange jumpsuit. I don't like your fucking hair. I don't like your whisker. I don't like a shit. I don't like a thing about you. But today, you raw.
That
And I'm
superhero
cheering for
landing
you.
was a
I'm
10 out
on
of
your
10.
side. I want you to win.
Sasuke versus the Riot Kage and the rest of them Kages and shit. That shit was gas. There's a recurring pattern here. Sasuke be showing up and getting shit done, huh? Crazy how he's the only Team 7 member that I tolerate. But the fight with the Raikage was gas off the simple fact that the nigga thought that he had killed Killer B, and Sasuke is just like, bro, I don't give a fuck about what you have to say to me right now. And the Raikage was like, oh yeah? So then he started scrapping with this nigga. That nigga Sasuke put up Amaterasu shield to stop the punch. The Raikage was like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Still hit this nigga Sasuke.
Like, that was
Like,
my
the look on
brother. You
Sasuke's
are
face.
dying today. I don't care what arm I lose.
This was like when Sasuke was in his emo phase, so like he wasn't really like shocked a lot, but like the bewilderment on his face, like, yo, this nigga hit through that shit. And then I was like, right, Kage Sama, you're gonna lose your arm. He was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, yo, this nigga is cool. This nigga cool. He picked Sasuke up and he powerbombed this nigga, bro. That shit was gas. But yeah, and after that, I don't like any fights. That was the last great one for me.
That's fair. You know what fight I wanted to like a lot? You ever like want to like something? Like you just look, give me a reason. I want to. Danzo versus Sasuke. I wanted to like that fight. I did.
I don't like that fight at all.
I don't, but I wanted to like it. I really did. Because I'm like, all right, this Danzo guy, I've been talking, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this fucking mystical, magical... I just didn't like it. Just not dead. Like, whatever. I'll say this, though. I'd have to revisit the manga to see the choreography in the manga itself and pay attention specifically to the hand-to-hand combat. But from an animated standpoint, I actually do think Naruto has the best hand-to-hand combat from the Taijutsu part. I actually do. I agree with that. I think it looks the best more often than not. I think the ones in One Piece that are good are better, but I think on average, I'd actually give it to Naruto. Because one thing I'll say is like Rob Lucci versus Luffy. Like, bro, I think this is around the time I started to learn about choreography in a manga, and I was paying attention to it. I can't remember which video I saw because I ended up really agreeing with how good Akira Toriyama is at fight choreography. I still think he's one of the all-time greatest at it. You could say
he's a genius.
Yeah, you could say you don't like this or that, whatever. But I will not let you talk about like remember the point of my life where I'm like I'm not reading Dragon Ball. I'm watching the anime. This shit's trash in the manga. And I remember the first time I read the manga, I said I was wrong. This shit is amazing. In the Rob Lucci fight, one thing that I noticed a lot was when Rob Lucci was trying to obviously use like Shigan, Madara spots, whatever. If you look at Luffy's hand, he lets the point where like the claw's gonna hit him slide in between his fingers, and he catches the palm like this so it won't stab him. And then when he's punching it, he punches to the side of his knuckle so the finger doesn't stab him. Like the hand to hand was crazy. Kamisori knowing exactly where he was and where he ended up and the sequence of events. Like he moved, Luffy punched, then he ran Kyaku. Like I'm like, oh my god, this shit is beautiful. Like it's really, really good. So yeah. No, it's not a Naruto cook session. We're just talking about the all the big three and stuff. The only time you're ready for Sasuke, fair enough. One Piece has such bad fights. It's just Luffy sucking. Kaido versus Luffy can't touch most fights in fights. But you're just like throwing out random stuff we're not talking about. We never brought up Kaido and Luffy. You know what you're doing? Maybe you're not doing this, Katakuri. But I don't know if you guys find this sometimes. Some people, because of where they think you are in a camp, just assume you have a certain opinion about something. I have issues with Kaido versus Luffy. I like it, but I have issues. Like, I didn't say that. Like, argue what I'm saying. Don't just throw out something in the ether that you see niggas on Twitter arguing about. Do not care about what them niggas on Twitter are saying. They mean nothing to me. Their opinions are not intelligent, and I don't like them, and I don't care about them. I'll never forget Volume 7, Vegeta versus Raccoon. That was good. I agree with the head-to-head take, but it's just one of the things that make up a fight. I think Bleach and One Piece both have better fights in general. Naruto versus Sasuke, Part 1 is the best fight out of the big three to me, though it's not alone. He said, nah, you're right, my bad. See, I had a feeling, because like I never said that. I did not bring up Kaido versus Luffy. My favorite fight in Wano was the Big Mom fight. Though I still have issues with it. I get it though. I get it though, but like, yeah, like like we're not like that. Like if we say something disagree, just argue our specific points. Don't argue the general community points. I don't fucking respect the One Piece community. They're morons. What are you gonna say, Pat?
I don't talk about One Piece with them either.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say if you think Naruto versus Sasuke at the Valley at the End, I say that when I say at the Valley at the End, I mean the first one.
Mhm.
I know they fought there twice, but if you think that's the best fight in the big three, hey, I'm not mad at that
I'm not mad
opinion
at
at
that. I
all.
would never argue against that. I don't. It's not mine, but I wouldn't argue against it. That's a very good fight with a lot of emotional weight and tension and everything too. Like everything there was great, all of it. Boy, Naruto. Yeah, when he got the third what's it called? The little wheel. Can't remember what
The
it's called.
Tomo?
Yeah. Then he could start reading the
Oh my
chakra
god.
better. Yeah, that was clean. That was clean. So I've been in One Piece GC, so I have this little toxic talking. Don't take it. No, you got it. I just saying. I notice a lot sometimes. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, so I think the admirals are pretty even to like the yonko, and like, oh, you're an admiral wanker, and this and that. I'm like, I just did not let me talk. Did not make any great statement yet. Just assume
I
because I
don't rate,
think that means I think every admiral's the greatest, and I'm just like Kizaru stan. That's so.
man. Listen, man.
I hate when
Listen,
people put words in my mouth. That's basically what I'm saying. Go ahead.
You see, leader of the Eight Nation is a kinder soul than me because I don't rate none of that. None of that bullshit got anything to do with us. So leave all that shit at the door. Whatever fucking shit that you be going through or whatever the fuck that you see on the timeline, leave that at the door. Yes. Is that
Yeah.
anything that's being said right now? No. So I don't want to hear that. That don't got nothing to do with me. Why you yelling at me about something you mad at that I didn't fucking do?
Yeah.
Leave all that at the fucking door, man. I don't rate that. I don't rate none of that.
Yeah,
But if somebody slandered Naruto, it probably did come from me, so you can come to me about that.
I like sometimes like yeah, I toy with communities. I'm a bit of a troll myself. But also I think if you get up in arms about manga, you're kind of a bozo. But yeah. I like to give credit where credit is due though. That's one thing about me. I think I'm generally usually fair on that front, but yeah, man, just if we say something you don't agree with, just talk about what we're saying. You feel me? Okay, so you said the dark new chat. What's up, Lizard? How you doing, brother? Okay, I can't remember what else we said, but okay. What else we said? They all did well. We said fight. We said art. I think. What else did we say? I can't remember. I don't remember.
Special moves.
Oh, special move. Oh, there's one thing I want to talk about when it comes to the fight, and I want your guys' opinion in the chat too, because this is something that I've been thinking about recently. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bleach fights streamline really well because most people fight with a sword. So it's swordsmanship. Different types of bladed weapons. There's like spears and glaives and stuff like that. Cleavers, all that, all is really good. But because most characters are generally kind of like, well, actually I can't say that because they follow the hollows. But anyways, but most characters fight with a blade. I know there's arrows and quincies and whatnot. I don't say it's samey, but there's a consistency to it. Naruto, most people are, regular sized and whatnot, and they have to follow the same laws of jutsus and whatever. So there's a consistency to it. Don't think One Piece has that general same consistency, and I've always wondered if it's because of the difference in heights and sizes and body types of the varying characters that are getting into fights. I was at one point look at the King and Zoro fight, and Zoro's like an inch shorter than me, and King is like 16 fucking feet tall. Right?
Yeah.
Now with Luffy, I think it's kind of brilliant because Luffy always has the reach to jab and punch somebody who's way bigger than him because he could stretch. So with him, I'm generally okay with it. Because you know what I'm thinking in my head for a second? There's one panel that gets roasted in Dragon Ball a lot. Do you know what panel it is? It's the panel of Jackie Chung and Kid Goku exchanging kicks because Goku's leg got longer when they exchanged kicks. Right? Because he's fucking tiny compared to, even though Roshi's not a huge guy, he's tiny at that point. I was wondering if we thought things like that like actually matter and help streamline things. Like, do you think that's a point that makes sense, or you think I'm just overanalyzing?
No, you're not. Well, no, go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's more to do with like the
Their abilities.
size. Well, yeah, that too, but also like the size of the universe to speak. Like the Bleach verse is um primarily a monotype setting for every area that they fight. So like they fight in Karakura Town, they fight in Soul Society, they fight in Wekamundo. And then Naruto, like, yeah, they got like different nations, but like they're all right
Mostly
next to
just in
each
the
other.
forest,
Like
and they usually fight in the fucking forest.
exactly. But One Piece is like a grand scale of like world. Like the size of their world is what's the scale to the like regular planet Earth?
I don't
I know it's
remember.
bigger
I can't
because
remember.
the Grand Line and the Red Line go all the way across the globe and they have like multiple continents and shit like that. But I think it's just Oda's way of showcasing how grand the world is by how many different types of sizes and attacks the characters have from their perspective areas.
Okay.
Because they always make little comments about like, oh, I was born in the Grand Line. Oh, I was born in the New World. Hockey not new to me. I was born in the North Blue, the harshest of the main seas and stuff like that.
See me?
So I think it's not necessarily the sizing, even though that most definitely could be a problem for certain people. I think it's just how drastically different people's abilities are. You don't
There's
there's
that
not
too.
just one way of fighting. And then on top of that, when fights do occur, you're not going to get the same type versus each other a lot. So like we're not going to get like another Sanji versus Bon Clay, for example. Two people who kick, right? You're not all just gonna get the two people who fight the same fighting each other. You're gonna the majority of the time, especially now in the New World Shinsekai, you're going to get so many different abilities wrapped around each other. You're gonna get 1v1s, you're gonna get 1v3s, you're gonna get 2v2s. People will be switching in and out
Matchups matter
versus
too. Devil fruits.
the other two, which don't really do that, especially Bleach. They primarily stay one on one. On top of they're fucking pirates. There's no honor or code or anything here. The majority of the time, they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to win. The only one who
Mm-hmm.
really gets one on ones like that is Luffy because of fucking, late Shonen series. We still gotta fucking appeal to the demographic, blah 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 blah, fucking standards and whatnot, right? But everybody else in the series doesn't really follow that anymore. We had that once upon a time because the size was still small. Now that we aren't small anymore, we're not going to be getting that anymore. And that's why I think asking the question of who got the best hand to hand is kind of a cop out and just a way to give Naruto a W, because what the fuck is hand to hand? This isn't Baki. This isn't Kengan Ashura. This isn't a martial arts manga. And
Yeah.
even in the hand to hand fights in Naruto, they still have fucking powers and weapons. So what the fuck is hand to hand? That shit don't matter. None of these manga, all three of the big three, aren't aren't a martial arts series. So we're not going to be seeing that a lot, if at all, from any of them. But to go back to the
but
ultimate question, yeah, I don't really think it's the scaling per se, but more so the abilities and how wide of a pool the abilities are that makes the disconnect, quote unquote, happen among some viewers.
Okay.
but Simi, don't you see in the anime they had Kakashi versus Obito, and while they were fighting, they were throwing hands, and it was flashbacking to when they was throwing hands as a kid, and the sequences were exactly the same when they were an adult, and it was going in and out, and it looked so cool, and it was fighting.
We don't give a fuck about that.
No, I hear you. I hear
I
you.
really hate that
I
fight, man.
mostly agree with what you're saying though. Like I think that's why I brought it up, because I'm like the scaling and sizing all these characters are different, and like I could fight 3 swordsmen today, and then the next I fight somebody who spams devil fruit attacks at me who can't fight. Right? So it's just a little different, which is why I try to be fair, and like it's kind of like how I say Blackbeard's a character in One Piece. I don't judge his fights the same way I judge other people's fights because he's not a clean victory, clean sweep type of character because of his fighting style, how fat he is and slow he is, and because he draws an attack and takes more damage. Shanks can wash a nigga and you're like, damn. Like Blackbeard is probably gonna beat. Like Blackbeard got kicked by a tied up Bonnie. Like he don't dodge nothing, but he get back up on his Kunran gimmick. What did Machete say? You hit him with something
Yup.
harder, right?
Yup.
Almost broke Ace's neck with one fucking karate chop, bro. So he's different. So that's kind of how I try to do it. Like it's not all the same. So I try to use like certain. I don't know. I try to make it make sense. But all right. You said look at this guy.
He asked a good question.
Mm.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, actually, I guess I should the fucking chat.
No, I'll read it. He said, "What's more raw to y'all, flexing Conqueror's hockey in One Piece or flexing spiritual pressure in Bleach?"
Ooh. Here's what
That's a good question.
Damn.
That's a good question.
I would say I like Conqueror hockey clashes. Like when two of them, like like when like Douglas Bullet does it, then Luffy does it. Like I like that, but like when like Kenpachi or like Byakuya flex their Yatsu, everyone's like, oh no, you know what? You know what I'm gonna use? When Yamamoto had to fight with the Ukitake and Kyoraku and not Lisa. What's her name? Oh damn it! I can't remember.
Now
She's I can't breathe. Pass out. Yo, he's like, I'll have time to teach a fucking child how to fucking breathe. Like that shit might be more. Spiritual pressure might be more raw. If I see more people do that Shank shit they did to Aramaki, I might change my tune because that was raw. He was like far away from Wano, sailing past it. He's like, "There's a new generation scare you that much?" He's like, "All right, I'll leave." That was kind of gas. I'll go spiritual pressure though, honestly, because the way he tries the lines, everything starts shaking and people just start getting paro. They scared, their eyes big, they're sweating, they can't breathe, they drop to their fucking knees. Because even the first time Kenpachi did that and Ichigo got stabbed in his fucking chest, he looked back, he's like, "Wait, what the hell was that?" It's like I want to kill you, die.
Yeah, there's not that many people in One Piece that freaking flex, or let alone have Conqueror's hockey, let alone Conqueror's hockey to that degree. Anyways, so it's kind of a it's not, the ratio is very skewed, right? Versus we have way more characters in Bleach that could fucking do that. We could probably count on like maybe one hand, maybe two, about how many Conqueror hockey flexes we saw.
I would say with One Piece, when it happens, it catches me more off guard because it kind of be unexpected. Because I feel like, ooh, this thing is getting serious. But with Bleach, it's kind of like sometimes it's comedic in a way. Like when Ichigo and them broke into Hueco Mundo and Grimmjow got out his seat, and Aizen was like, "Bro, where you going?" He was like, "I'm going to take care of them." He was like, "Have a seat, Grimmjow, Jack." And Grimmjow didn't say nothing. He was like, "Did you not hear me? Have a seat, Grimmjow, Jack." And he flexed the special pressure. That nigga dropped to his knees. I was like, hey. Yeah. Or even when Ichigo was fighting Grimmjow talking shit, and he was like, "It would suck if my mask broke like last time. Don't make me laugh." Grimmjow was like, "Oh shit."
He's like, it'd be bad if you couldn't keep your resurrection long enough, nigga. So, we talking. So I'll go spiritual pressure. I like how it looks aesthetically more too. So it's really good though. That shit raw. I remember it's so funny when someone just can't like breathe. They fucking like die. when Yama had her just fucking pass out sitting down with his cane, I said she is not ready.
That nigga Kenpachi flexed his shit, and Hanataro dropped onto the ground. Nigga passed out. Ichigo said, "God, you get that nigga and get the fuck out of here, bro."
Oh, I'm crying. I feel basic Conqueror isn't used as much as it should. Dealing with fodder should never be a thing if you got Luffy on your team, in my opinion. My favorite flex is Ichigo on the bridge versus Byakuya. That was good too. Or even when he stops the Soul Goku, that's Soul Goku. Talking about the big Phoenix sword execution blade.
Yeah, that's so kill.
Oh, there we go.
You had it right.
All
Yeah,
right.
you had it right.
I shouldn't have doubted myself. I pressed X to doubt.
Got
But
the wrong answer. X.
what it just reminded me of it just reminded me of a thing I saw on Instagram earlier today. It's like sex is great and all, but you ever get a question wrong right the first time and switch it and then get like fuck I was right the first time. Like yeah, I felt those ones. I thought that should piss me off. Finishing moves that you brought up, Simi, I think are really something that I want to. The last thing I want to say about fights is I always thought that how especially I'm gonna be fair and say especially Luffy. I love how Luffy wins pretty much every one of his fights. I think they're very, very grand and spectacle. They usually have some type of metaphorical or a symbolic meaning to it, you know. And not to say that the other ones don't have that, but like every time Luffy's about to finish someone off, I know it's gonna be in spectacular fashion, and I really like that. I really do. That's a shit raw.
That's why I said arc and fight finishes, man. Like to put the cherry on top, even of a fucking mediocre arc too, the cherry on top is so important because there's so many arcs that just end on with him, or flat out we did not like this.
Yeah.
OP for the most part, we be getting fed.
You see, you said you mean big punch every time. It's just still raw. That does not bother me.
Hey,
that
big punch be going dummy.
I will say this: Oda shouldn't have said that if he was gonna do it. But I'm like Oda, I don't care about this. Big punch raw, keep doing it. It's fine. Like because he's like It's like I can't have Carlos to a big punch. Why not? Don't fucking care. But you shouldn't have said it if you were gonna do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I love the Luffy finisher, Lucci finisher. That's my favorite. I love that one.
The punch was the size of the island this time.
I know.
That was what was different.
And he had to put his faith in Momo to move it. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't big punch. It was big punch. That's
it was. No, what does he say in one of the movies?
Punch.
King. You guys say it 3 times.
It's the king of the king of the king gone.
Yeah, but it's the symbolic meaning. Like just to give one, it's like Dofi, how he's like Dofi's supposed to be celestial dragons from heavenly yaksha. Like someone's above you and is punching you back down to earth. Like the symbolic meaning of all of it, the ringing of the bell, Cricket being able to hear the bubbles in the sky, knowing that his ancestor wasn't a liar. Like those are the things that like move me a lot the most about like the emotional spectacular finishes of One Piece.
Nah, my nigga, I'm glad you said this. There is not a single fight in any series I've ever read that has been more impactful and emotional than when Luffy did the Ogun rifle on Enru and he rung that fucking bell. That is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in anime. I'm not gonna lie, I cry every time I see it. Like tears be coming out. Like,
I get goosebumps.
It's the most beautiful shit ever. Like everything goes quiet.
Yup.
You hear the bell gong, and Luffy is asking, he's like, "Oh son, can you hear it?" I'm like, I hear that shit, Luffy. I hear that shit.
You see him in the sky, in the cloud. He's falling back down to earth a little bit with his hat on.
I get emotional just thinking about it.
I even like when he took fucking Don Krieg with through the net with his 2 feet, spun him around, slammed him into. I said, "Bro, that shit is fire." I'm the best. I'm the strongest. Against nah, we're going home, bro.
Come on, no, bazooka.
He fucking stomped Arlong through every single from the attic to the basement. Like,
oh god,
he has his finishers are so fucking raw. It's not just big punch; it be stomp. Like, yo, I love it. beating crocodiles through fucking bedrock to expose his like underground hidden stuff, and then bringing him upwards to the light so everyone could see what he really was. Like, I'm telling you, man, you
Leveled the
gotta go.
whole
You got.
town.
Yep. Yep. Oh gosh, it was so amazing.
Look, man, why are we talking about Luffy so much? Give my man Sanji some love. That nigga kicked Jabra down, and he said, "God makes food, the devil makes spices." I guess I made that one a little too spicy.
And then it goes didn't and we continued. Didn't. No, that was raw. That was raw. But come. Anyways, who's the best writer out of the big three now?
Oda, please. Why are we doing this? We know it's Oda. We know it. We know the answer. Let's ask who's second place, please. Please
Okay.
make it fair for them.
No, because I wanted to extend it to like plot, central plot, subplot, character writing, character arcs, if you will, and like relation. Like I think what Katan brought up earlier is really good. Like your relation with your different abilities. Like I think all of that matters. So you let me know what you guys
And it's
think.
still
Though.
One Piece.
I think character writing gets a run for its money with Kubo at this point. I do.
Yes, I think Kubo is the best at that specific thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. I think. I mean,
the way he humanizes them is just amazing. Like I love those characters so much.
The thing about One Piece to me, I mean, we can make a different argument now. It just seems to me to be the one that was planned out the most from inception, even though I know it was only supposed to be 5 years. Like he had a better grasp on it, because I think there's different ways to do this. Like you might have an idea up to a point. You might know you want to write something short. You might just be winging it on a week-to-week basis, just trying to just understanding your story and trying to just pick off where you left off and make sure that things stay consistent. One Piece always, to me, felt like it had the strongest foundation for what I wanted to be later on in the story. I mentioned earlier his storytelling style is really good. Like to be able to call back to something as early as chapter 1 as him telling the seeking to get lost, and you're like, oh, he's scary, and like, wait, that was hockey? Wow, like. I don't have that many of moments in the other two series. The one in Bleach I can think of is Yuha Bach, always having been the Quincy power inside of Ichigo. That was incredible. Because when it was coming, I'm like, oh my god, that nigga is your watch, sorry, whatever. Like that is the Quincy King. That is not Zangetsu. It really, when it's Hollow said I am Zangetsu, he was not lying. He really meant that.
Him, bro.
Like he really meant that.
My head so hard.
Like
I said, yo, this nigga's not just crazy. He was actually speaking with a level head.
Yeah. Thinking about Ichigo, like Ichigo, I kind of roast a lot for like crying a lot, or whatever. But like he is kind of a regular teenager in terms of being able to get shaken up, being able to get shaken up.
Crying raw.
Crying raw.
Sometimes.
Crying is raw.
Not when Kenpachi.
Not crying.
Not okay. MC different. Right. He said the Zangetsu reveal spun me. So one of my favorite line Luffy was in film Gold when Gold Zoro said he think he could beat God. Luffy said the previous guy couldn't even beat me, referring to Dofi. He could have been Eneru. I don't remember that line though. You said you got Kishi. The Zangetsu reveal spun me. Nah, I feel that. That was good. That was really good. I did put together his mom was a Quincy a long time ago, but it was still really good though. Who was the Bankai Zangetsu though? To me, that looks like an even younger version of.
It's a young one.
Yeah, it's an even younger one. But he still fuses with the Hollow to train him to use the final Getsuga Tensho. So the Hollow is always involved no matter what. So yeah.
I would say like Bleach, from a writing perspective, always had the best plot twists of the big three. The first obvious one is when Aizer faked his own death. Mm-hmm. That shit was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I thought that guy was a burger. I thought he was a burger. I'll be honest. I'm like, this guy's trash.
That shit was kind of crazy. That nigga Toshiro said, She admired you. She looked up to you. She joined Squad 5 because she liked you so much. And he was like, that made it so much more easy to control her. Remember this, Hitsugaya-kun. Admiration is the state furthest from understanding. I said, oh my God, he's different. he's
The
different.
Aizen that you guys saw was never real. You never knew me. You don't know me. I said, fuck. All
Son,
right. Talk.
that
Talk, bro.
nigga slicked his hair back
I
and
will be
said,
the
I
one.
will stand above the heavens. What? What? Huh?
He was
But
talking.
nah, it's not even just that one. Like, of course, we covered the Juha fucking being Zangetsu. Like that one, I was like, because when I saw Juha for the first time, I was like, I've seen him before. Like in the back of my mind, I was like, something is very familiar about this guy. And then we get everything but the rain. I was like, no, ain't no way.
Yep. That was great. That was good, man. That was good. Here's the thing I want to say about One Piece characters, right? Because I do think they get a bad rap unnecessarily, but I've said this for years because this is something that I've always believed. I don't think there's something inherently better or worse about a dynamic character or a static character. It all depends on the
Yeah.
series, the story you're trying to tell, and how you utilize it. You can have a character that pretty much from chapter 1 to chapter 30 doesn't particularly change, but maybe their attitude changes the people around them the way Luffy does. Luffy's a static character. I'm not saying Luffy doesn't grow in certain ways, but my point is the Luffy that you see in chapter 1 is still the Luffy you see in chapter 10,090 or 91. We're going to be soon,
For the most
right?
part, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
about the
Like
same.
there's
Yeah.
growth, but my point is that is not a drastically different character. I know. Remember, I always tell you when he lost age, people want him to become some peg-legged, one-eyed. The seas are dangerous. I lost my brother
What
to
the
the
fuck?
sea. I'm like, nobody wants that. Keep that and fucking hockey man with the glow in his chest. We don't want that edgy ass fuck ass. No, I'm not interested. I don't want that. And I think anybody who's followed One Piece long enough should have known they weren't gonna get that. That being said, um, his static characters for the most part I think are really good and solid because I think the One Piece characters change the world around them and the people who interact with them and the islands they go to more so than they have those happen to people do that to them. I've always said if I had to give you two characters that I think went through like standard character development, good but like pretty standard would be Law and Robin. I do think that
Yes.
Law and Robin have changed a lot after interacting with certain things in the story and Luffy and whatnot. I do think so, but I don't think that's a negative necessarily. I don't like the golden standard for me is always Prince Zuko. That's the greatest, one of the greatest character, and then now Maruna. Those are the two greatest character arcs I've had the pleasure of experiencing. They're my gold standard, and everything else is second best to them. But it's the same way I don't harp on Goku for being a martial art ape. That's what his character is. That's what it is. You don't have to like it, but it's not inherently bad because you don't like it. It works for the story of Dragon Ball. It's not a problem. It's not a bad. It's not a detriment to the storytelling, and I always will believe that. So, yeah, Ulquiorra number 4 reveal was crazy too. I still think he's the
That
strongest Espada though.
that was nuts. Just off the simple fact that this nigga was the one that we saw the most. It seemed like Aizen trusted him the most with daily duties and stuff like that.
Mm.
And Ichigo's going all out against this nigga. Like, I'm saying, he was not wasting no time, no warm up. Like, no, mask up, Bankai simultaneously, immediately.
Mm.
Get this shirt. I saw number 4. I said they're all dying. It's over with. Over with.
You see the despair he felt. I felt. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be 1. That's too easy. He gonna be 2. I'll take 3, but just show me the 2. I saw
Me too. I thought
4.
it was
I'm
2.
like, yo, we're dead. We're doomed.
3 niggas.
We're
3
doomed.
niggas.
It's over. It's over.
This
You
nigga's
see the
halfway.
you see the hope that you should go eyes lost? I lost it too. I'd have been like, yo, there's no way there's 3 niggas stronger than you, bro. And Aizen, I would have cried. I would have cried, bro.
I still remember the dialogue in Japanese. That nigga Ichigo said, Yon Dato? When they at that toll, that means like I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He said, hmm? Soka, cuatro espada, ukiyo shifa. I said, what? What do you mean?
Guys, I don't care. No one tells me it's not Yami. He's garbage.
He sucks.
I could,
That
I
zero
could.
don't
We
mean
could
shit.
talk about Baragon's ability. We could talk about, I guess, Stark, but I still think it's Ulquiorra with his Segunda Etapa. I think he's stronger. That's just me though. So, hold on. It was also foreshadowed when Zangetsu said, "I'll take over you. You'll die." That's when the Vasta Lord
Yes.
happened. Yep. I heard
Yep.
that. I hear that, but I think Itachi plot twist was way crazier than anything, and I actually don't agree with that. But let me say something. I don't think it's a bad like plot twist necessarily.
It's a
I
good one. It's a
you know
good
it's a
one.
good one. It's a good one. It's just like one of those things. For some reason, I saw coming. Gin was another person I think I read properly too. I'm like, I think Gin is on our side, bro. So like when he did, Koro Tsukami Shiri no Yari to Aizen, and he put the little fragment in him to break him down to molecular level, I wasn't actually surprised. So me, I'm only talking for me. I still think they're good twists, and I understand what's supposed to happen, but I can't explain why Itachi never felt like a bad guy to me. I don't have any like I saw this and I knew like it's just a gut instinctual feeling. That's just me
I
personally
would
though.
say in hindsight, it's less shocking because you're like, yeah, a nigga with all these abilities and stuff like that, he should have been like on a murderous rampage if he killed his whole clan and he don't give a fuck about nothing. But like his demeanor was always very calm and collected up until the final battle with Sasuke, where he was pretending to go insane trying to get the eyes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's one of those things where like in retrospect you look back on it, it was like that was a little bit obvious. But in the moment, I feel you. It was a good one.
Yeah. One Piece character had the best interactions, big three in my opinion. I think that's debatable with Bleach, but yeah. And that's, well, you know what? Maybe One Piece in the overall scale, maybe main cast scale. I feel like that's crazy. Ukriora, no. Uryu, Chad, Orihime, like Karen and Ishin and Ryukin. They all talk decently enough, I think. So that man just calls his dad by his government. That's crazy. But I understand. I understand it. Most people agree Ukra was the strongest spotter. Is that true? I don't know that. I actually wouldn't know
Yes,
that. Okay.
everyone thinks that.
Oh, okay. So I'm that's a cold take from me. My bad. Ukriora post second resurrection had to be the strongest easily. Should I get some weed from late night store or keep it healthy? Oh, say sweets. Get some candy, man. Get a little bit of candy. A little bit, not too much. Certain characters that have a gap in their backstory always have the potential to flip in that regard, especially if they're spies. That's fair. But yeah, Gin was another one that I'm like, I don't think he's not on our side. I think for that one, Rangiku caring about him still is probably was my main reason why. I don't know if I have a good one, but the only twist in Bleach that absolutely did not fool me in any capacity was Ginjo being the evil Fullbringer, and I tell you because his eyebrows. No good person has eyebrows like that. I don't care what you tell me. No good guy has eyebrows looking like that guy. So okay, um, what was another thing I saw them comparing that I want to talk about? That okay, so we talk about writing. We think that from a central plot and subplot standpoint, we think Oda's the best.
Yes.
That's just like the general storytelling. Okay, characters. We said he's doing his thing. Do you think there's anything in terms of the writing that Kishimoto does as well or better than the other two? Maybe it's power
Um,
writing, power scaling writing. Like, do you think there's anything from with the pen he does better or as good?
up until the war arc, I felt like his power scaling was pretty good. Like the Kage were the Kage for a reason. They were undoubtedly like the strongest niggas.
Mhm.
And then once the fourth Ninja War happened, it was just like, well, anyone can get work, really. Just depend on the situation. I'm just like, what? It's like the war arc is a third of the series, so that's like the majority of my disdain for Naruto, and it retroactively ruins everything.
Okay.
I actually think I could agree with that. I think I could agree with the power scaling because even just with dealing with the Akatsuki one by one, the big bads who were presented to us as big bads felt that way. And even Pain freaking successfully destroying fucking Konoha and shit. Right. So I feel like for the most part, until we got into fucking Ninja Jesus territory and fucking Mortal Kombat Resurrection shit. I think for the most part, Kishimoto had good power skill. It felt like the big bads that are presented to
Streamlined.
us were as strong as they were presented, and their send-offs and or specific arcs equated to how they felt when they was introduced. I think I'm in agreement with Pat. I'm trying to think of other shit, and I mean,
You think it's like,
I do have a bias
could
against
you think of
Naruto, and I don't like
characters
that
or any
shit. But
characters you think he did a good job writing? Like, this is a really good character.
Shikamaru.
Okay.
Yeah, Shikamaru was amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal character.
he's dope. No disagreements. Never not
My
like him.
guy,
My guy is my
my
second
guy
favorite
as
character.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my second. He got
yeah,
a bowl
guys.
cut, but I like him.
Yeah, the only raw bowl cut guy. See, Gohan did not get raw until after he got rid of that bowl cut.
Nah,
He
Chi
was
Chi did him
like,
dirty. Like, you gotta be in space with no drip, with my hair like this, bro. You said I'm dynamic like this.
right? You go my first time going to a whole new planet. I got a
Mm.
bowl on my head. Oh my god. With the
Do you,
Saiyan arm and a bowl on top of my head. Ruined the whole thing. It's crazy.
do you guys think Obito gets too much hate?
No, he's a burger. He absolutely sucks. I fucking hate that nigga.
Slider guy
That's
said
the
Obito doesn't
epitome
get
of a
enough
loser.
hate.
He's the epitome of a fucking loser. That nigga started a war over a bitch that wasn't even into him like that.
I'm an Uchiha clan hater, so the truth is I'm Tobirama. Get rid of them.
I think we're split on this, but I think Itachi is an absolutely phenomenal character. I like him a lot. He's my favorite character
I
in the
don't
series.
like him. I don't disagree with that. I just don't like him.
I mean, well, it makes sense why you like him, Pat, because the fucking the sibling bond. You got your bias.
Yeah, he knows me so well.
Mojo Mocha. Oh, he sounds like Jiraiya. Obito's whole life changed when he watched Kakashi blow his back. And didn't he know that? Didn't he know the reason too? Like what actually happened, and he did it anyways.
He knew the reason. That's what pissed me off because I was like, okay, if you came in at the wrong time, I could kind of understand your motive, but you knew why it happened. You knew it was an accident. So like, what the fuck, bro?
Or was it that she got
Just move
kidnapped or
on.
something? And Junchiri, I can't remember what it was, but that's what people get wrong. Ubito didn't start a war of Rin. He even tells in the chapter to Kakashi, if you think I started because of Rin, you're stupid. That's something misunderstood. So explain it to us.
But he
So then what
literally
he started
said
over?
he literally said because you let Rin die though. That's what he said. And then later on he contradicted himself. He said, I don't care about Rin like that.
What makes
So
me
like,
what
what you
makes
want
me
me to
laugh
do?
the most about them is just how much nothing changed. Like Kagashi was still working him. It's just like you're not wrong. Just don't respect him. I want to tell you, I don't respect Obito, but I don't like the whole clan. I'm like I told you, I'm Tobirama. I would have gotten him out the paint. I said, yo, I don't care if it's 9 months, kill it.
I like
Get rid of the
Madara because
clan.
Naruto didn't talk no jutsu that nigga. Thank God.
He got Kaguya usurped. Is that better?
Yeah, he got Zetsu. He got Black Zetsu. Is it?
We're like, I hear you, but is that better? Like, that was
I
equally as
didn't expect
garbage.
you to. I didn't expect you to ask me that question.
You said I didn't think I'd get this far.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just that last war is just oh god, I don't know what to do with that. But the last two things I'll say here because I know someone Jimmy's gonna have to prepare soon is in terms of the protagonist and antagonist across the big three. What are our general thoughts? Like, do we think that most series have good we'll keep antagonist for now, like antagonist. Not having to be bad guy or villain, just antagonist. Somebody who opposes the protagonist is what that means. Could you guys do you think they all did a solid job? Because Madara is
I think
heralded as one of the greatest anime villains of all time by most people. I'm not mad
I
at it.
don't know about all that.
I don't agree, but I think Orochimaru is the best.
And there it is. Thank you.
In Naruto, I
Like,
think it's
I think
Orochimaru.
I think they're just blinded by how strong Madara
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And like his showcase in the war. But like, bro, Orochimaru was out here putting in the work. And his influence from that work is felt throughout the entire series. What the fuck are we talking about? Fucking a nigga who's dead.
Orochimaru has feats. He actually killed the Kage. Well, I wouldn't say killed, but he's the reason the third died. He planned a coup. It was damn near successful because they took out the leader and shit. Fucking, he was experimenting on hundreds of fucking people in the dark
He
and
will
never
snatch
faced
a kid out the
justice for
forest
it.
and throw him under a goddamn microscope.
Yeah, he never faced any justice for it either, which is kind of raw.
Fuck the police.
But the villain, this is my time to shine. Let me put this shit down. The villain that is absolutely overrated that I'm about to shit on is Pain. Can't fucking stand this nigga.
That's interesting. Talk to me.
He's actually a shitty villain because he started all this shit, right? Because the world tormented his reasoning was solid enough. The shinobi world is unforgiving, it tormented him. His comrades got killed right in front of him and stuff like that. And even though he was just a pawn in the grand scheme of things, like he was out there accomplishing a mission, getting shit done. That enough in itself is cool. This nigga had nearly 20 years of planning into what he was gonna do. Got defeated. Had one conversation with a 16-year-old snot-nosed brat. And it changed this whole line of thinking. You cannot tell me after 20 years in the game of plotting, preparation, and actual execution, you're going to change your mind after a single conversation. And it's not even the fact that they had a conversation. The conversation had no resolution. He asked Naruto a very important question. When someone like me who has been tormented by the shinobi world and the cycle of hatred comes along in the future, how are you going to address this? And Naruto said, I don't know, but you're just going to have to trust me. I'm going to figure it out. And he said, well, it works for me. Huh? It's not even the fact that he was like, okay, cool, that works for me. That was bad enough. He brought back every person he killed that day. Where is the consequence? Where is the I really dislike that arc for that very reason. I'm just like, bro, there's no ramifications for what this nigga has just done? Are you serious? All the tension that I just read for like the last 70 chapters, it's gone.
Was he good up until that point, though?
Yes. That's what makes him so shitty. It's the polar opposite effect of what he was doing and then what he ended up doing.
I think I'm with you. I don't know if you know what, I can't say I'm a Pain stan. I probably honestly wasn't even thinking about him when I was thinking about like the best ones in Naruto. Honestly, I don't know why I wasn't.
But he's always highly regarded as one of the best villains in anime. And I'm just like, bro, this nigga actually sucks.
But I would argue that like I agree because I think I'm consistent here because I have the exact same problem with Kuvira in the last season of Korra, where I'm like, if you're gonna if you're gonna do all of this to be the great uniter, and even granted it wasn't as much of the time, but still, and you were willing to blow up Batar Jr., which was your goddamn fiance. You can tell me one little conversation with Korra is gonna talk you out of all of that? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't think it's believable. So, I think I can agree with that. But I think Orochimaru was fantastic. I really do.
Yeah,
and I think he should have been. I don't know, maybe saved for a little bit later or something. But I think someone earlier said that kind of when his soul arms were like were lost, he kind of just slowly but surely faded from public consciousness, and then he got Then he was in Sasuke, and then he came out. Then Itachi's like, nope. And then later on, he's like, I guess I'll help. I'm like, no, plot, scheme. It's like scheme, no help. Fuck these niggas. You a snake, heavy. But yeah, so
Yeah, he
um,
cool. I just don't fuck with him because he used snakes. I don't fuck with snakes. And that shit always coming out his mouth. That shit is gross.
yeah, he's
Ugh.
actually disgusting, but he raw. um, when it comes to the other two series, oh, wait, sorry, Sammy, did you want to say anything about antagonists in Naruto first?
I mean, mainly in agreement. It's just people say that fucking Pain and fucking Madara shit just because fucking how strong Madara was, and then the fact that Pain fucking like solo Konoha and shit. So how
Mhm.
because of how strong he was. So just they just power scaling. But I think for the most part, Naruto has serviceable villains. I do think Orochimaru is really good, and even though Kishimoto was on his fucking Togashi pack with some of the fucking Akatsuki members and this and fucking trying to
Yeah,
make
redeeming
him
these niggas.
succeed. Yeah, redeeming
Yeah,
and like
but
I
what?
misread all of that, but at least it was presented as a group that was a big deal, and we took a good portion of the second part single-handedly dealing with each one. That's what I like. Now,
Mhm.
fucking this Togashi pack redeeming them, I don't like that. But the fact that we was pretty much playing arcade mode with this entire group for the first half of fucking Shippuden, I like, and I felt like that equated how important they felt when the main cast was kids.
Like talking
But
with them being S rank and whatever, like it felt like
yeah,
they held up to the hype, or like they're very difficult to bring down. Like each and every one of them, because isn't Akatsuki members, if I remember correctly, I don't remember all these, but weren't they stated to be strong enough, each one of them, to individually like dismantle a country or something like that?
yeah, some shit like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it was kind of cap. Only two of them were strong enough to do that. But
Yeah, I think Zabuza
but
was fine. I like Zabuza; he was cool. But Orochimaru, Kimimaro, to me, I like Kimimaro a lot.
Me,
I actually
even
like
Zabuza
the
and fucking Haku, they did that.
yeah,
He was doing this. He's on a Togashi pack.
yeah.
But
True,
yeah,
true, 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 true. But I don't. I'm pretty indifferent on Pain, but I agree with that. I agree with like the ending. That's awful. I actually don't. I've never actually even met a Naruto fan that like Kaguya personally. Actually, I don't know if they exist. I think
they try
every
to block her out like she don't exist.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
I'm
they
on to
try.
these niggas.
I would argue they do that more. Like that didn't happen. Like it ended at
Yep.
Madara, but Madara I do think is overrated. I think I agree with Simi. I think it's just because of how powerful he is and the things that he can do, and he's raw. He's a great design. I think that carries a lot of it. But I think Orochimaru is the best antagonist in Naruto. That's my opinion, though. So um, when it comes to Bleach, what are we thinking?
Ooh.
Um, because I have an interesting case.
Ooh, okay, okay.
The best
I feel like
the best villain is Aizen, but the best antagonist was Byakuya.
interesting. Now, fuck what I was gonna say. Speak your case, brother.
You said, "Wait, hold on. I need to hear this." I think I think the thing that moves me the most about the Ichigo and Byakuya conflict is how much Ichigo cares about his family, especially his younger sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
Byakuya was literally doing the complete opposite of, like, it wouldn't have mattered if Jesus came down and said they gotta get executed. Ichigo would have went and fought Jesus, bro. Like, it didn't matter. You're not taking his sisters from him. I understood the frustration that he truly felt. Like, why are you cool with letting her get executed? What is wrong with you? This is not okay. This is your sister, bro. Because you know how he feels about his family. I think that like family dynamic part to me actually truly moves me. Because having reread it, when he loses and he starts talking about what happened with his wife and da 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 yada yada, and all comes full circle. And Ichigo's like, okay, I kind of get it's sympathetic, but it's like, nah, bro, like you protect your family, that comes first. And I think all of that comes full circle brilliantly when you talk about Zamaru, he's like, you pointed your blade at my pride, this and that, the other. The way that he apologizes to Rukia, and then obviously in the episode that we just saw pretty recently, when he's like, you're strong.
Hmm.
You've become strong. I could sense your Yasu even when I was coming from the Soul King's palace. But this is a troublesome
I
Bankai, but breathe slowly, undo it. You're gonna train with it more. But like I think all of that comes full circle. And at the time, Byakuya was portrayed to be as like one of the strongest captains, all things considered, with the spiritual pressure. Ganju on the bridge dying and all that stuff. Ichigo incrementally getting a little bit better, being able to block. He's like, I can see you, Byakuya Kuchiki, I can see you. Like that's not gonna work this time. No sir, you blocked it from the back. Or like I thought the progression was really good, and I kind of like how their fight starts too, because he kind of pulls up. Like it's all chaotic. You're running around. Boom, let's go. And I'm like, yeah. So again, villain, bad guy, Aizen. Antagonist, I think it was Byakuya.
I also really like the answer. I mean, not the answer, but the response that Byakuya has internally after he hears Ichigo's answer. When Ichigo's like, "Well, I understand your situation, but like, if it was me, I would have fought to change the way the 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 Soul Society works so that Rukia wouldn't get executed." And Byakuya's eyes kind of like light up. He was like, "Oh, I understand now. I wasn't his enemy. This whole time he was fighting against the very institution that put Rukia in this predicament." I was like, "Oh, enlightenment. I like that."
Yeah. So niggas gotta get ready. So I'm gonna just fucking shoehorn real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Bleach's case, even though I hardly remember not a goddamn thing fucking about it, I don't have any fucking real issues with any of the Bleach antagoni. Like the Hollow was,
Yes.
the Hollow were fun. Yeah, I thought they're very not only scary, but I think that the designs are pretty iconic. Not only to the series, but just Kubo's style and his sense of um creating a concept or just a character, right? So I like the Hollows a lot. And then even though fucking Soul Society is fighting our future friends type shit, it was a good portrayal of Ichigo's sense. I don't know if what I guess you could classify it as justice, but just Ichigo's morals in general that it don't matter. That he was pretty much on his Toma pack. Well, I should say Toma's on his pack, but you get the joke I'm making. He's on his Toma pack where it doesn't matter who the fuck you are, who or what you are. If you endanger his friends and family, he gonna fight you type shit. We already
Hmm.
know about Aizen and fucking this nigga Yuhaba. He just fucking unhinged. He's unhinged. He's absolutely fucking unhinged. He gotta go. Right? And so he and his ass gotta just fucking go, period. So I don't have any issues with any of the major Bleach antagonists, included when they were antagonists and then not. But yeah, I think Kubo did a at least a satisfactory job there. And with OP, I think Oda does a fantastic job for the most part. I think he does a good job with what the thing that SAU tries to do. Oda does teaches him how to fucking do it. Does circles around him with creating pretty much your own world within the arc. So we know arcs have
Floors and islands.
their arcs have their specific characters and their fucking and their plot points and shit like that, and they're pretty condensed while we're on that island. They're pretty much each arc, each major arc, I should say, or saga if you want to call them, because some of them are, feels like its own little world. I think Oda does a good job with that. He does a good job of, even though they're all pirates and even though technically speaking they aren't good guys, not one of them, they're all fucking criminals. He does a good job of having the pirates that the Straw Hats fight be a good antithesis to what they stand for, and not in your face good versus bad, because they're all fucking bad people. They're all fucking criminals and shit, right? They're all outlaws, right? So I think he does a good job with that. And the design's raw. The design's raw. And even if their art might not necessarily be up to snuff or might dwindle or wherever, they do enough to become memorable. And then their send-off immortalizes them. Just as we were talking about art finishes. These art finishes are not only important for the protagonist, but they are important for the antagonist as well. Just as it comes to wrestling, everything in the picture matters. You're only as good as who you're working with, right? And vice versa. The way that Luffy defeats these opponents helps immortalize them to the story, immortalize to them to the world of the arc that we just witnessed, so on and so forth. So I think Oda does a really good job with that.
Well said.
With that, I must bid the Ape Nation adieu, as I must prepare for my own stream, which is going to be in T-5 minutes. I will be fucking late though, but don't forget, if you do like video games, if you like seeing me butcher the English language, and if you do like legal cases, then you can watch me at twitch.tv/Hio Kaniku as I continue Detective Marathon and play Ace Attorney. Well, that is the Ace Attorney series.
The best.
Me and my friend did get into a Grimmjow versus Ukriora debate. I don't know who you like more.
I like Grimmjow more. Grimmjow is my favorite antagonist in the entire series.
Okay. I feel like Grimmjow had more to do with Ichigo on a personal level, but maybe on a more...
that was
go ahead.
That was his first actual rival. Byakuya wasn't really a rival; it was more like a clash of ideals, and Kenpachi was more so a way for him to understand Zangetsu, or who we thought was Zangetsu, more. So it wasn't really anything like personality-wise that was similar to the two of them. Because the whole time that Ichigo's fighting Kenpachi, he's afraid of this nigga. He's like, I'm cutting him, and you're coming forward. What's wrong with you? She's like, what's wrong with you? You're strong as shit. Why don't you like to fight him? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
On the point of antagonists for Bleach, I would say I loved almost every single antagonist that was presented towards us, and I also loved what they represented. So, like, of course, the Grand Fisher I think is the very first one.
Yeah.
And this is a personal battle, and this is when I knew I liked Ichigo a lot. I don't want to hear none of that revenge is bad bullshit. You killed my mother, I'm going to kill you. That nigga said that straight up. He said, I'm not gonna rest until you're dead.
He's the coolest guy ever. God, that line makes me sick to my stomach. Keep going.
Yeah, that nigga was in a life or death struggle with someone who was Grand Fisher was stronger than Ichigo at the time. He was on a higher level than him. And he was fighting as desperately as he could. And when that nigga retreated, he said, get your ass back here. We're not done yet. I'm going to kill you. So I like that. That's when I knew that I liked Bleach initially. Actually, I said Grimmjow was Ichigo's first rival. I think it might have been Renji, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was Renji. Because
Renji and him compete in a bit of a different way, because usually they end up training together in a similar way that Renji ends up figuring out first. But yeah, I got you now.
Yeah.
And they had two matches, the one in the real world and then blah blah Byakuya, and then later on in Soul Side,
Yeah, the Renji thing as an antagonist is actually, I think, underlooked. Even I just underlooked it this time myself, because both of them care for Rukia deeply, but they care in different ways. I'm
Yeah.
so sick and tired of people saying that Ichigo and Rukia should be together. You niggas need to understand that platonic relationships exist. All right,
Yeah,
Rukia is like
I
the
never
older
saw the
sibling.
romantic interest between them. I thought it was always Orihime. That's just me though.
Yeah, exactly. Rukia is like the older sister that Ichigo never had.
Mm.
That's the way she addresses him. That's the way Ichigo thinks of her. But obviously she's small, so like Ichigo's like must protect.
Mm.
And Renji been in love with Rukia since like forever. But
Since
Byakuya
Soul
is
Reaper Academy School.
since Byakuya is his direct superior and he's in the Soul Society system, he doesn't understand the best way to help Rukia in this scenario because he's not strong enough yet. He's been training all this time to surpass Byakuya. And then here comes this nigga, Ichigo, who is the reason why Rukia is up for execution. He's misguiding his frustrations towards Ichigo. It's not Ichigo's fault, but he's just like, you're the reason why she locked up right now. You're the reason why she about to die. And Ichigo's like, well, what about you? You know her longer. Why don't you do something? You're the one that took her back over here. So, they fight, duke it out. Ichigo get the MC tax, so he won. But I thought that was like, you know, a way for both of them to bond. I really appreciated that because then, like you said, they did both end up training together and they both fought a common enemy with Byakuya. Renji failed, but Ichigo succeeded, yada yada. But like, even the inner turmoil that Ichigo has, I consider White as an antagonist.
Yes.
Just off the way that he torments Ichigo 24/7. Is so unhinged that he can't sit down and wait for 5 minutes while Ichigo is fighting. He's just like, nah, let me get in that.
Wait for the
He's like,
follow.
you're not fighting right.
Mm.
It's like you're not fighting right. Let me get in there. Let me show you how to use Bankai.
Mm.
Like 9 times out of 10, he do be like saving his life, kinda.
Yeah.
But other times it's like, bro, you're being a hindrance. And nigga can't fight fully because you bothering him.
You're in the way. And I'm perfectly sure she
And,
knew he was a Shiba. A lot of people say that. I couldn't discern that anyone could tell that. Some people did say that Ichigo looks like Thing though. I think I recall people saying
yes,
that.
Ukitake said it. He said he looks like, and then Byakuya was like, he's not who you're thinking. But they didn't know that he is actually a Shiba clan member.
Yeah. Shout out to Ishin. Shout out to
But the thing with
Daddy.
Ichigo and Grimmjow is like, they were two individuals that were similar in strength and but at the same time they were not like at the very top of their institutions, so to speak, because like Grimmjow is like number 6, which is a little lower than half in the Espada rank.
Mm-hmm.
And Ichigo like just got his Shinigami power, so obviously he's not gonna be stronger than the strongest captains. Like he's not better than Byakuya, Kyoraku, Yamamoto, and all that stuff. But they both have like a vital role to play in the war. And that fight was a way for Ichigo to understand that he actually does enjoy getting stronger and fighting strong opponents. Because
Yeah.
Ichigo does this thing where he be kind of lying to himself a little bit.
Like I do this
Like,
only to protect. Only. That's the only reason
yes,
why I do it.
yeah,
The only reason. It's not entirely true.
yeah, like, bro. When you came to Wakamoto, like, yeah, you were trying to get Orihime, but you wanted to see Grimmjow again. You wanted that run back. You wanted to get your lick back on this nigga. And that's
Absolutely.
what Grimmjow was trying to convey to him. He was like, bro, let's be serious. Let's be serious. You wanted to fight me. You want to kill me because I hurt your friend. That's understandable.
Also, I'll beat your ass.
Understandable. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? Bro.
No, I'm with you. I think Ukuyo's up there for me though. I think from a personal standpoint, I definitely give it to Grimmjow. The reason I think Ukuyo just on a grander scale. And it always looked to me like he was trying to understand them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he didn't get humans or the heart or whatever. Like he was trying to figure something out, and he was trying to use. I think the conduit he was trying to use was Orihime and Ichigo and their relationship, but he couldn't get it because he's because like I like remember him being like he is outclassed. He cannot win, but it's not a recklessness. Like the
Mm-hmm.
confidence in his eyes is not just reckless abandon. Like he believes. Like I don't get it. Like what is happening here? And he's like,
That
you think I'd just be scared or run away just because you're stronger than me? Like, bro, I have a duty.
yeah.
And he's like, all right, hold on. What if I do segunda etapa? Nothing. And Ichigo's just like, I still gotta fight you. It doesn't change nothing. It doesn't change the goddamn thing. If I want to bring Orihime home, you gotta die, nigga. Like it's either I can or I can't do it. And I don't think he understood that. So it was kind of funny. Oh man.
I liked when he asked Orihime, "What is a heart? Is it that thing that beats in your chest? Like if I take it out, will I see it?
Yeah.
Will it cease to exist if you die?" Like it was a genuine question. Like he wasn't threatening her. He was asking her a legitimate question. He was like, "What is that shit?"
Yeah. Oh man. On antagonist that annoyed the F out of me was Natora. Nigga was talking shit beating
Yeah,
Ichigo
I don't like
ass
that
after
nigga.
he was weakened. Yeah, I'm not he didn't move me. I don't even think he was a good opponent for Zaraki. Zaraki kind of should have packed him really easily in hindsight, but he did a couple of tricks. You know, with the stabs, he got lucky because
No,
he stabbed him through the eye, and then he hid two arms when he had six, when he had four. So like, but that nigga's not raw. I'm sorry, he's not
no,
cold.
but he was kind of like, you know how Kenpachi is. Like he'll get cut up and act like he's not feeling it, but he was kind of getting this shit a little bit. But when
Yeah,
Kenpachi was like, "Did you know that a sword is swung harder when it's swung with both hands?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I got up
even
out of my seat.
e- even I was like, duh. And then he's like, I don't think you know how much better. I'm like, there's no way two arm swing was all he needed. That's fucking. He's different.
That's another plot twist because I promise you, I went back and looked at all his fights and I was like, "Oh
He
my
does fight with one
god!"
hand. Yes, it's. I actually think it like it has a little bit of a next step because Unohana's like, you fight with one arm and you're not using the other arm to defend yourself. Come on, bro. I'm like, fuck. Hold on. So, nah, man, he different. That guy raw. The type of guy start acting tough once the teacher punishes the other student. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Una pieza with the antagonist talk. Now, by virtue of how the story is told, I think it automatically has the most. But I do think Oda hits way more than he misses. I don't even as much as like some of them are like I look at it like they work for the time period or work for the arc itself, even if things change after, like a buggy, Kuro, whatever. They don't have to have like this long down trickle down effect to other parts of the series. Though Arlong does come back later, I do think he has influence on Hody, but I do think the ones like Hody, I don't like anybody in Hody's crew really, or Vanderdecken and stuff. I think they're really bad. Um,
Let's
that,
put it this way:
is that it?
if Oda makes 20 antagonists, only 3 of them will probably be duds. His
Yeah,
shooting percentage is so high
yeah,
with these antagonists; it's absolutely insane.
and they're different.
And I think he beat me to it.
Oh.
That's how you know we're of one body or not.
Two souls become one.
When 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 he creates antagonists, they all represent something different. You're never gonna get the same type of nigga in One Piece. That's I think one thing that I appreciate the most. It's always something different. Like, for example, in the beginning you have Don Krieg, nigga had resources on top of resources. The
Military
nigga was
might.
planning. Military might, chemical warfare. He had all of that shit, but he didn't have the stuff. He wasn't made out of different stuff.
Yeah,
I'll give him this though. He did get back up.
he did.
He got back
But
up.
Gin was like, bro, we're
He said,
cooked.
that nigga said, "Mother, you're psycho." But yeah, like you got Arlong who you get his backstory later on as to why he's so discriminatory against humans. And then, like, even though Hody is like Arlong light, he didn't have the same type of impact and effect that Arlong did because he directly affected Nami's entire life. Like, this is a core member of the crew. He impacted her directly. And he was just holding a nation in terror with his grip, like, for how many years? Like 13 years, 12 years?
Mercy. Wait. Arlong, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 8.
Like 8 years?
I'm gonna check, but I
Why
think
do
it
I
was
feel
8.
like it was more than that?
Why I
Because
think
I
it was
swear
8.
Nami was like a toddler.
I'm gonna check. Oh, you know what? I think maybe was he trying to steal treasure for the 100 million berries for 8 years? Is that what I'm misconstruing? But keep going. I'll look it up.
That might be it. Yeah, like it's not even just like what he was doing. It's when you get introduced to him, you see his mindset and how terrifying he is to the people of Kokoyashi Village. He made a deal with the Commodore and the island
Mhm.
and took all the money that Nami had saved up. And then he tells Nami, like, I didn't break your agreement. Like, bro, yes, you did. yes, yes, you did.
Using
And
semantics.
then he's just, yeah, and then he's like, Nani, you could just get 100 million more.
Mhm.
It'll probably be a lot faster now that you're an adult. And he laughs in her face. And like the way that Oda presented it, you could see that Nami like completely lost the end of her rope at that moment in time.
After
Like you spend your
enduring
entire
Arlong's
life.
tyranny for 8 years, the village decided once and for all they had enough. Yeah, it's 8 years.
8 years? Okay.
Mm.
And then like everybody that she knows that's going off to fight this thing, she knows they're all gonna die. Like I can't really think of many series in the beginning stages of a series showcase a villain that doesn't get redeemed, that impacted a character to this degree, where they were just like completely and utterly drowned in abject despair. Like her taking a knife and stabbing the tattoo on her shoulder of the Arlong pirates, because that's the only way that she can hurt Arlong, but it's still hurting herself.
Yeah,
Like that's some brilliant mega brain writing.
I heard it. I was like, Nami, no. I didn't even trust her at the time. I was like, I don't know. Do we trust her? I was like, that's why
Even to
I
this
always
day,
felt
like
doubly bad for Robin. I'm like, I didn't believe, I didn't trust her, and I feel bad. We gotta save her, dog. We gotta
yeah,
fuck the
even to this
government.
day, like watching that scene, like she she is stabbing. Like, hey, that was a dagger, bro. That ain't no pocket knife.
Hmm.
I don't even know how she could raise her arm anymore. All the
Yeah,
tendons in her arm should be severed.
she don't got that Byakuya precision, bro. Just sever the tendon. Yeah,
Yeah.
one
And then
slash.
even when we talk like the top antagonists, like the Doflamingos and the Katakuris, the range of impact and what's the word that I want to use? Influence
Even
that
status
Doflamingo
and
spawned.
ranking that they have, because the Katakuri's are number 2 on the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very
Like
diverse.
you see so much of Doflamingo before you even know Doflamingo. Like you know he's involved in this, you know he's involved in that. Then when you actually start to know more about him, he's a celestial dragon. He killed his brother and his father. He's intertwined with law. Like it's just so many things that gets revealed about these characters, the motives behind why he did these things, his mindset. Like he tells you straight up, I don't get on my family for failure, but betrayal is something that I absolutely cannot tolerate.
Yep.
And it held true.
And you
Like
know where it comes
Buffalo
from.
and Baby Five and them, they bumbling idiots. They always failing all the time. He just laughed it off like, it's all right. Diamante lose to Maribel no me. He was like, what's done is done. But niggas betray him? Nah, you gotta die.
Roshinante?
You gotta die.
He's like, my own flesh and blood? He's like, no, I can't do it. So, oh
Nigga
man.
said, why am I being forced to kill another one of my family? And I'm just like, who was making you do anything?
You being puppeteered, bro? You're the puppeteer. You're Geppetto. You're not Pinocchio,
Like
right?
reading that,
So,
I was so confused. I was like, who can make you do something?
mhm. I have speaking ad nauseum how much I like the diversity and range and all the different types of One Piece antagonists, and that includes Foxy. Yes, I'm a Foxy stan. No, beam. Beep, beep, beep. No, beam. So I'm and the admirals and all that. So I'm not gonna go in length. Just gonna let y'all know. Um, I think with the storytelling style that what it has, because pretty much every island is going to introduce a new antagonist, whatnot. I just like you said, he shoots a very high percentage. A lot. He's a volume shooter, but the percentage is high.
Yeah,
And that's
he'll throw a lot of villains at you, dog. I'm not even
you
gonna lie.
you gotta and that's and I think that's pretty hard to do, especially since they're not all cut from the different mold. I've always in a weird way given Dofi shit for this, which I don't even think is fair. Where I think he's a traditional villain done
Yeah,
extremely well in One Piece, but I'm used to kind of unconventional villains, right? So I always dock points for that. I'm like, you're like like the example I use in sports. You're like a perfect Michael Jordan fadeaway, but like the other shit he's doing is some weird like 3-point layup, like scoop layup. Like it's just something different, which I like a lot more because it's distinct and everything. So I don't have to go into great detail. I literally talk about this all the time, and I even spoke about it a little bit in my recent videos. Like, did you see how angry I got some One Piece fans with that video? And I don't think I said anything crazy. I said I think by the end of it, at the very least, Kizaru will look from top to bottom more impressive than Lin and Kaido from a combat standpoint.
that's not
Malfunction,
a crazy take
I know, but they're like he
because
doesn't
of
even
his
have
ability.
he doesn't even have conquerors. And I'm like, well, from what we can tell, neither of them were even awakened. And what I think Kizaru is going to do is showcase a Logio's awakening. That will be what I don't even know for sure. Doesn't have advanced conquerors hockey. I'm assuming he doesn't. I am. I think he'll be adept with armament and observation. But I think he's gonna show us what a Logia awakening really looks like. So I'm very excited. And you guys know that's my favorite Marine. So I'm very excited to see him in action. So
What did I tell you, bro?
mm,
Critical thinking, media literacy, and reading comprehension is in the toilet.
it's
All time low.
but
Talk about a nigga that packed up all the fucking supernova on Shibodi effortlessly.
when he has to go deal with
Why would it be
Whitebeard
crazy?
after, like very
Yeah, like why would it
nonchalantly.
be crazy to assume he'll do something off the
There's
wall?
there's been there's a part of the community that has this opinion, and I think from what I know, I think King of Lightning is the biggest proponent of this. But I think he said 2 or 3 admirals are needed to take out one Yonko, right? So,
It depends on which admirals.
real question: do you have reading comprehension? You don't, but it's okay. You're just vibing. Sometimes you just vibe. It's fine. We can't all be as smart as us. But yeah, and I think that a lot of people respect him and respect his opinion and really like him, like Cole. So they kind of ran with that. And I've never been the one who's saying admirals were better or stronger or whatever. I just always the example that I always use is I just literally think it's the most tepid opinion in One Piece, which is so funny to me because not I don't think it's a crazy take. I'll be like, I opened the fucking newspaper. What's on the front page? Big Mom clashes with Kizaru. Big Mom wins. Oh, I'm not shocked. Kizaru wins. Oh, I'm not shocked. It's a draw. Still not shocked. No outcome is going to have my eyes come out my head like Gear 5 Luffy. I'm like, it's all fair. Same thing was like, oh, well, Kuzan fights with Kaido. Kuzan won. Fair enough. Kaido won. Fair enough. It's a draw. Fair enough. And then like, does that not sound like a very normal, rational, tepid take? It's so funny to me that my One Piece opinions are the most normal in the community. They're not on either end of the spectrum, and it drives them insane. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how could you not, Zoro, think Zoro's going to kill Kaido? Because I'm not an idiot. That's why. Why would you think that?
All time
What the hell's pointing
dumbest
that to
take.
you? Like, make no goddamn sense. Why did you just decide? You just decided you wanted that.
My friend who lives in Germany that has these data books that have not been translated says that Zoro and Luffy are the same level. How could you possibly think that? How could you read a 1,000+ chapters? At the time, we were like, what, 900? How could you read 900 chapters and think something like that?
And it's one of those things where I just be like, I just gotta look at you. I'm like, all right, man, you got it. You know, like I've like just the funniest thing I've never seen a fan create a delusion pulled out of the crease of their ass and they get mad when we're like, we have brain cells, so we don't believe this. And they're like, ah! And then now they're calling me the N-word. Like, what did I do? just don't, just not on your side. That stuff is funny. So yeah, we talked a lot about the big three. I mean, we can go more into depth and stuff, but I want to show Simi some love, and I do want to get some food in my belly and stuff and eat. So it is, yeah. ZKK is not that they're alive. It's just like what they pretend to do now. I would say is they pretend that their perception wasn't wrong. Oda was the bozo for portraying things certain type of way, which is why they believe that. And it's like, all right, man, you got whatever. They lost.
The
We won,
arrogance.
right?
The arrogance,
it's
Hondo.
it's Oda's fault that they thought that because I don't know. So they're not alive, but they're just not intelligent human beings that anyone needs to respect in any capacity. I truly believe if you are a long running fan or a fan of One Piece and you had that thought or got tricked into having it, you have no mental resiliency and your IQ is low and you need to go deal with that. That's a you problem and not a me problem. I'm incredibly intelligent. I don't have this issue. Can't speak for the rest of some of them. I cannot speak for them. But you're right. Zero fans are a different breed. I honestly feel knowing there are people who don't read for sure feel better. So yeah. Did he also need therapy? So yeah, we talked about antagonists, artwork, fight finishing, writing subplots, character plots across the big three. We spoke about how maybe we didn't think that the big three arguments would be this passionate or whatnot. But I do think one thing that you guys brought up, I think you and Simi brought this up and someone in the chat brought it up that I didn't consider is maybe the new stuff just isn't hitting hard enough to usher in that new era where we think this is more of a bygone era. It's just like,
I
as much
I
as people
think
like JJK
it's
and Yaiba and My Hero and stuff, I do think that newer shonen in general tends to be weaker than the era that I was like a teenager and lived through, I would say. That's just my opinion though. I could be wrong. Maybe the 80s were the
it's
goat.
a combination.
Mhm.
No, I'm just saying it's a combination of multiple factors. For one, the series aren't running as long as the big three did. I mean, One Piece aside, but like Naruto and Bleach ran pretty long. Like Naruto is like 700 chapters and Bleach is like 680 something. Um, on top of that, we're in the social media age, which I feel like it hurts and it helps the new shit. There's a lot of groupthink, a lot of niggas being told what to like.
Mhm.
Nobody's not like they're kind of scared to say when they like. Some people are scared to say when they like something. I saw it a lot with Yaiba. Like the final arc had a lot of great fights, and one person said that the arc sucks, and everybody was like, "That arc's not that good." It happened with the fucking the
Bleach.
Mugen Train.
Oh, I'll say Bleach with Super Eye Patch Wolf's video. I
Well,
think
well,
that
Bleach,
yeah,
Bleach too.
yeah.
But no, I remember when Mugen Train, like the chapter came out, and then a couple, like I would say weeks afterwards, there was like, "Oh, Rengoku's a weakling. That arc's not that good." Then the movie dropped. What happened?
Yeah.
Movie dropped. What happened?
I will I will
Everybody's like,
I
"Oh,
will
that shit
call
happened."
myself out by saying that I didn't feel the impact of his death. Like it didn't emotionally impact me, but I thought the movie did a much better job with that. That was my only thing with Rengoku. I'm like,
Yeah.
he kind of came and he went for me, but I also read fast, so so yeah.
But now Bleach too. Super Eye Patch Wolf, Bozo. dropping video, downfall of Bleach.
Mm.
More erroneous facts than actual facts in that video. And I only watched like 10, 15 minutes.
No, I
Like
understood.
everything
I
he was
understood
saying,
when
I was
I
just like,
watched a video where I had immense knowledge on it. Like, oh, he doesn't do his research as well as he thinks, or he's making shit up. So yeah.
I'm just like, bro, you're wrong about so many things. Asking questions, calling stuff Deus Ex Machina. I was like, this was explained. Like, there's nothing that drives me up a wall more than when something was explained and then you're just like, it was never explained. Yes, it was. So you
Or
just told
if
me you
you
don't know how to
need it
read.
completely spelled out for you. They asked us which big three MC do you like the best. I know it's not Naruto, so it's between Luffy and Ichigo. Um, for
I
me,
like Luffy more.
it's Luffy, but I have in the last 3 years gained a tremendous amount of respect for Ichigo. To the point I'd argue
I,
he might be like my top. Like if you asked me before, I'm in top 10 in Bleach. Ichigo wouldn't have been anywhere near there. Here's what I'll say. Ichigo was still kind of one of my favorite characters in Bleach in general, where I'd probably have Luffy around 20, as much as I like him. And I like him more than Ichigo. But I like a lot of characters in One Piece people don't really care about. Shirahoshi, Iceberg, stuff like that are amongst my all-time
nah,
favorite One Piece characters.
either.
And yeah, and a lot of people don't like them, so I might just be a little wired a little differently. But I'll go Luffy, Ichigo, Naruto. That's me.
I would say Luffy. I love what he represents, which is why I rate him so highly.
Mhm.
If I didn't watch Yu Yu Hakusho as a kid and was exposed to Yusuke first, Luffy would probably be my favorite MC ever. But Ichigo is undoubtedly, absolutely in the older brother Hall of Fame. Like
Mhm.
that kind of stuff means a lot to me.
I feel like
I
you and
love
Laz have had an impact
siblings
on me
bonds.
now. We're not when someone's like a big brother, I feel like whatever. But I'm also a little brother, so it's kind of
Yeah, I am too. So yeah,
oh I didn't
little
oh
brothers
yeah
and
oh,
big
okay
brothers
yeah
they go.
yeah
Yeah,
because I'm the second youngest of five. Only my little sister. Well, one of my sisters is younger than me. My two sisters and my dad's son are older than me. So yeah, you know. But yeah, that's my answer. But this was fun actually. I actually enjoyed doing this. I'm glad that I did it. That one tweet kind of inspired this talk. So go show this video some love on when I post it on YouTube tomorrow, even if you already saw What's poppin' Patreon? Shout out to the CBLs. That's them certified band lovers. They be loving Bam, LaBam, James, and whatnot. A bigger shout out to the Priest of Fire. They might be the real CBLs because they be loving Brillith gang. And I gotta give a extra special thank you to the fifth Zen gods. Shout out to Big Abdel, Alan, Andrew, Childish New Jabis, Dang I, Triss, Fairs, Johnny Rogers, Lazy Dragon, Lucky Roo, Makai, Revenant, Scobe, Shadi to Your Body, Simi, Sunny Kathapali, Ticos, Tino Brown, Urek Mazzino, Zachary Cooper, Zodiac, Nemco, and Zyler Scotty. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Yo, I have food now. Yo, yesterday I ate some grass. I ate some leaves. Let's go.